to see a run, or who is maybe some drivers you're wondering will they have a better race here this evening than what they've had so far. But for the field, let's take a look.
Ed Sheeran wanted to know if you wanted his brakes.
Drivers look to be trying to take the green here this evening.
Brakes?
For the second time
His brakes.
It's the 67.
I guess maybe his master cylinder settings or something like that.
Times this season. Who wants to get number 5 here tonight? Starting on the outside of row number 1 is Gavin Rogers. Talking about Lucky Ducks. Well, we've got 71 of Edward Sherwood Jr.
He says good luck.
71 in 3rd, with Chris Stitz in 4th. Brian Noel trying to come off a tough week last week at Dover will start in 5th. Robert Moyer Jr.'s pick of the 70 of Aaron Smith II will
How much time is left?
Brian Kelly, our winner from last week, starts in 7th. Shane Tarian 8th. 9th is
How much time is left?
Campbell, and finishing out our top 10, we find the 13.
I don't think I can see that.
Going off in P11. Just got to get here to the next page right here. Perfect. Nick Crawford, P11. Zach Hall, P12. But like you said, going to be dropping to the end of the field. Brian P. Johnson in 13th.
Let's hope that's right. Oh, man.
Okay. Vincent Sora rolling off in 15th.
Okay.
Some people were, I asked the question, and some people were asking or telling me in chat to what to do, so I just switched it. So I haven't drove this yet.
Audio and Joshua Canada alongside him in 20th.
I hope they wasn't trolling me.
21st, we found the 11 of John Forbes Jr. In 22nd
be able to get
the 56 of Richard Wolsifer. In 23rd, we find the 8 of Ryan McCann. 24th, it's the 06 of Tom.
What I had didn't work for qualifying, so.
It's the 46 of
23.
Matthew Rodriguez will be starting back.
I'm trying different stuff because I don't know what to do in this car.
I'm trying to find some good speed, but it's got a long track to go. We'll start all the way back in 27th position.
What they told me was the brakes that I've been running.
29th is Ryan Ferraro.
Sort of.
Drew Juas,
15, 16, 3/4, and 39.6.
Thank you.
31st, Ollie Fonseca in the number 24 machine, alongside Carl Puller, starting 32nd in the 58. Dakota Moniz in 33rd, and Tyler Dengler in 34th position. Going off in 35th, going to be Christopher Wade, Mike Tellier, and 36th, 37th, Justin Forbes, Christopher Norris, no qualifying time in 38th, and in the 39th and final position, Matt Beard, number 72 machine, or riding on board. He went out there to make an attempt, just don't think he got back to the line in time to get that lap count.
Yeah, and also I think you had already tapped in the wall trying to just start in the back. It's mentioned practice time, like during qualifying, as the drivers are healing off and getting ready for tonight's race. 100 laps in total, but I want to take another look at the weather if we can. Yeah, it's going to be a big talking point of tonight. Heard a lot of drivers throughout the week. They were practicing in conditions where the weather was around 93 track 10. Here tonight, starting the race off, 124 degrees. The wind is up to
124
heading north. And those are going to be the two big factors to talk about.
Yeah.
How does the wind change? Because it looks
that's what I was saying before.
And we're given the direction to stay neutral, but it's out.
Yeah, 125 now with 84 air.
So what is the track going to be at track 10?
How do people get penalties or suspended from this league?
But up front, Larry Yingling, three-time champion.
They got a big rule book. Lots of
Series
rules that they can't get
season
through.
2,
They issue those
7
penalties, and quite a few people hit them. I keep them muted half the time. A lot of it's, well, some of it's mic stuff.
He will hope to maybe place himself in a position to try to place his fourth.
I would say the majority of it is on track stuff, like racing incidents.
It's been inside the top 10 for most of the
like ARCA braking. I've seen that penalty.
It's been Gavin Rogers, Edward Sherwood Jr. Those two drivers are still trying to be up front, be confident in their
entering track unsafe conditions. I've seen that one.
Before the field, Justin, any final thoughts?
Pace car's pulling off.
Drivers have to go green.
Ready.
On Daytona Road.
Here tonight. I'm excited for that guy in 4th position up there, Chris Stitz in the 17 machine. I'm excited to see what he's going to do too on these rides here. Up there with those two of the 67 and the 75, but here we go. We're going green.
Into the restart zone. Drivers further on back. Try to slap.
He's got the 01 still outside. 46 thought about taking a look to the inside. Thought better of it.
Time to go racing for 100 laps.
Still just outside.
Stage break at the end of lap 20, so it can be a quick one here for these drivers. Going to make sure you're inside of the top 10 quickly. On the initial start.
46 looking low. Left rear. You're 3 wide. You're in the middle.
Rogers.
Hold your line. 01's on the wall. 46 underneath. 14's going to give you a little bit of a push.
Side, give a little bit of deja vu at Dover last week.
You are clear low.
Side by side, even down the back stretch.
Down the backstretch, they're going to stay 2x2. That's going to give a lot of draft to that 71 behind. Is he going to be able to pull out and make a move? Does not look like he's going to at that moment.
29 now outside. 46 with you.
67 going to try and get it down below that line. 75.
Two guys behind me said I had to
still
go.
there, right rear.
Head right here. Turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, I'll go.
Still right rear.
Straight away, but right now is the 67 going to have any draft help? 71's going to go high. It looks like this could hurt the 67.
They don't want to give the help to the three-time champ, and it's going to give
Clear up high.
one to Gavin.
46 with you.
Goes to the 75, and your pole sitter still
Now 11 outside.
inside room for Gavin Rogers. That outside row not going to be
I
coming.
got a bad exit on that one.
11 on the wall.
Well, new tires, it works up there. Staying side by side, still does.
46, going to give you a little bit of a shot here.
It is, but you have to think. I think it might have been these two exact drivers.
11 right front. He's going to get checked up a little bit by a car in the slower, or car outside a little bit slower.
Quick, about 20 laps in. Got to be cautious of that right now. I know they have that competition caution at lap 20, but
11 right rear. 46.
Race.
Thought about taking it 3. Instead, he's going to give you a little bit of a shot again.
They are pushing everything to the max on who's going to have the better road.
Pushing you all the way into one.
There's going to be given the draft help on the outside. Still not completely clear.
Clear up.
Lieutenant Baldwin clutches of Edward Sherwood Jr. Now the lead is fully set for Gavin Rogers as he pulls along.
All right, sir, you're up 4.
3 Brian Kelly, who runs at 6.
Go to the high side.
Rogers
Keep rolling.
on the outside. He'll be rewarded with the lead.
Clear low.
Again, what will the tires look like in the next 3 to 4 laps? Because it's going to be a quick turnaround. If you over-abuse these tires, they can hurt you greatly with the speeds that these drivers are climbing up to. You can see the difference of drivers picking and choosing drafting partners on the straightaway as well. As down
For the most part, it's a long conga line back to you now. There's one that are side by side about P5, P6. Everybody else just in a line.
And maybe not here. Is shifting. Some drivers choosing to utilize shifting. Some will not be shifting. It's going to be a strategy play on the drivers right here. Aaron Smith trying to complete the pass. Bristits. You see right out back. Does not have anyone right there behind pushing, so he's going to have to try and rely on getting through his corner better. Is he going to be able to do it? Gets down to the bottom, but not all the way below that line. 17 right to the outside. They're coming out side by side still. Not able to make that pass.
This is the battle for 6th position. Aaron Smith.
Both you and the 46 of Jump have been faster than Wolsifer ahead.
As you see the
last 2 or 3 laps.
They're way forward.
Checking up, a little sketchy up top.
Positioning with Bristits. Will have help and assistance now as he has his teammate.
46 still with you.
Behind him.
You are clear high.
It's a little bit of a special.
You got to use more brake. That's the trick.
We're going with throwback schemes. Officially on the schedule, there were throwback schemes given out.
It's going to get a little weird right here.
Decided to bring out a throwback scheme. The 13 is Cedric Hunter.
Okay.
Running a special scheme.
46 outside, completely threw it in. 56 now on your bumper.
Still there.
Still there outside, right rear.
His father built back in 2003. And
46 still, right rear.
so different from his Hello Kitty pink that he runs
Outside door.
week in and week out. But you love it when it's throwback night. Some drivers take the chance.
77 is going to try to follow him through. You are not clear, right rear.
Schemes, and like you said, definitely have to get interested.
All clear, all clear.
Now you're
A
clear
little
up.
lock up. Look, just a little bit.
Which looks fantastic versus the white with the
You're okay.
size from the Hello Kitty. Always the 13. Always see that. I remember racing out there in the trucks. Always knowing around Cedric Hunter. Always has that special Hello Kitty paint scheme as we go right here.
That's
I don't have enough rear brake.
14th, 15th, 16th position. These guys are not being afraid to race side by side. Still lap 5. Still not wanting to get single files. You see that getting a little loose right there. No, that's the problem. Staying down low, get loose coming out of the corner. That's going to break that momentum down this straightaway. You see
74 is a little loose on the bottom.
Andrew Chua once again not having the right
11 on you. No, nothing there.
7 on our ticker of Drew Chua.
It's okay. Keep it straight. Keep it straight. Keep it straight. They're wrecking behind you.
For tonight's race, but
Ooh.
I'm going to take a look at the front side.
race out this battle lane is
Made a little bit of contact. I don't think it's bad though.
contact with Drew. Ricky behind. More
A little bit of separation in the hood.
Ollie Fonseca got turned, and more drivers continue to fall. Excuse
That was a light tap too. I didn't think it was going to be that bad.
Round, and our first wrecking caution on lap number 6. This was a worry, and this.
What do you think? Go down pit road, fix a little bit of damage, possibly even no tires.
I mean, first with your question on pitting for tires, You get 5 sets.
Or you want to stay out?
So you're going to see this replay right here. See exactly what happened right here. This is going to be 14, so the accident's going to happen.
Let's go ahead and take tires.
But the 14 definitely gets turned.
We usually don't.
Oh, you want to take tires? Okay.
That code, because it looked bizarre at the time.
We'll just gamble it.
I mean, no, there's the content.
I'm just taking max time on. Okay, I was just taking max time on pit road fixing damage versus anything else. But we can do that.
Sorry, gets hard contact on the inside wall.
I mean, I'm 18th. I need track position.
All right, you're all set. I'll turn your.
Sit down the outside. I believe she goes to.
Right, that. Yeah, I get you.
They were caught up in this.
All right, turn your spotter back on.
That wreck, but right on board with the 14. Here's his point of view. The driver's loose, so there's a wreck, slowing down, and now he's involved.
I'm wondering
to
if
the inside wall.
they're either all going to go in,
The impact, I know it's not really showing the damage.
or very few are going to go in.
Some, I would think that's some suspension related damage. Hopefully he's able to get it fixed, but heavy impact for him.
A heavy impact indeed. Luckily, there is no required damage.
I don't think it's going to be split.
Driver of Georgia,
Again, stage brakes on lap 20.
I think they're going to stay out.
And with this caution,
That's what I'm going
on
with.
lap number 6, again, brought up the question also of seeing the wreck. This comes into critical
they're
time.
staying out. No,
Around that
no, it might be.
zone.
Oh, they're faking. They're staying out.
Yeah, yeah, they're juking.
You pit for tires.
Should I go in?
Or stay out. Some drivers were still running pretty fast times compared to what
I chickened out.
You asked me at the cone.
Chickened out.
It looks like a lot of faking.
I chickened out.
Really want to take the chance into pit road.
All right, fair enough.
I looked behind me.
Okay.
Nobody was coming in the pit lane, so I'm thinking I might be the only car going in the pit lane. There's 20 people behind me, so
Is that the
I might just have to do with what I got.
4 sets of extra tires
Yeah.
for tonight's race.
Okay.
There's still a lot of racing action here tonight, so taking a set this early on.
If people looked like they were going to come in behind me, I might would have went in, but I didn't see nobody ducking down.
They were pretty similar to some of their fastest laps. They weren't
4 people pitted.
what their true speed are.
All right.
They were probably the ones involved in the wreck. So if I came out,
probably other people that got damaged. Yeah.
I would have came out in 36.
The tire stopped giving me like the fast lap times. I mean, we were only here on lap 6. Now we're going to cool them off, so they could probably get another 2 or 3 good solid laps out of them. And then it's not like they drop off fast. They drop off. But
That turned out to be a
the
good
draft
call.
here, it was more important to be up there and have someone on the straightaway, even sometimes being by yourself on new tires. Maybe weren't running as fast as someone on 5-lap tires who at least had a car in front of them just to utilize that draft. That's what I got out of it. So I'm thinking maybe these drivers are also thinking that too, right?
Hey, Jamie, I don't know how to drive this car.
Position, but as you said, Sam, they also don't want to use that one set of tires.
I can drive all the other cars
And
except
some
this one.
drivers that did make the decision to enter pit road.
I still ain't figured it out. I don't know.
Into pit road to get a little bit of service done, of fuel only, and a little bit of damage repair for the night.
I might switch back to the big wheel.
Stafford, though.
I always thought the little wheel helped me, but maybe it doesn't.
It looks like for the 61. So that is a decision of taking a set of tires.
If you're able to, I've never asked you before, check your Discord.
How well it can do with the 61, trying to make his way forward. Again, he did have to start in the back, so maybe looking for a slight advantage to move forward. Other driver that had to start in the back, Zach Hall. He was only able to move up 10 positions.
They'll probably be all right in the draft.
Started tonight's race up to
Yeah, that's a little bit of damage.
difficult to make passes, which Justin kind of had a feeling that was going to be the case here tonight. We even saw it up front. It was very hard to make, even just
Splitters up a little bit. You gotta
10
crease in the hood.
So if he's able to stay with that model, we should see him in the top 10 soon. But as it gets closer to the front, we always say it's harder and harder to make those passes. And I would imagine.
Hey, thank you for the follow.
Accident. So really, probably only 6 cars that he passed under green flag conditions. It's gonna have to.
Well, at least now we got an excuse.
And eventually, that top 5.
I didn't have that before.
Battle for that win later in this race, but it will be exciting to watch him get up there. It looks like the pace lights are out, so I'm thinking we're gonna be lining up here and getting ready back to racing here, coming through the next time by.
those lights go off, that is the indication to the field we are going this time. Also,
What I need to do on my other wheel, the paddles on it,
point out that are up front.
they're 3D printed, but they're 3D printed with
You know, going with the
cheap material.
look for the
They're brittle.
75, he was going
And
Dale Senior.
I need to reprint them with stronger material because I've always been afraid they'll break off if I use them hard.
Sundance Pizza that his family owns in the Arizona
Right.
area, and one of those schemes that you always love to see when drivers bring out. You know, they've got
In this car, I use the paddles.
They want to go through and kind of have a base, but then also bring in their own little twist
Right.
schemes when it comes to race night.
He's got the little 3 up there on the back too, on the side.
All right, P17.
Very nice looking.
Let's see.
And I like that it's also the Ford Mustang.
But I know where I messed up.
More of a twist on there.
My brake settings are not correct.
Teammate Yingling's leading right now.
So the Ford fans have to be happy right now that are watching.
I believe my steering is correct.
I think that's the one
brakes are.
With iRacing is that
I could use more rear brake.
It's picked for some drivers. Some teams you strictly have to run.
Because when I really got on it, I locked that left front up going into I think turn 3.
They pick whatever manufacturer they personally feel connected with.
Okay.
A lot of Fords out there. Then we have a couple of Toyotas, and of course Chevy is usually the most popular of all manufacturers when it comes to racing. But up front, it is the Fords of Gavin Rogers, Larry Yingling. And while we were watching some of the battling before that,
pace cars off.
Yingling did make the pass for the lead. So the 67 will be the control vehicle for this restart. So we'll see how Larry can time
Restart zone. Go, go, go.
clearance as we get ready to go green. Pace car makes the hard left-hander to pit road. We wait for them to enter that blue restart zone as it is time.
06 inside, now 46 inside.
Wagon stage yellow at the end of lap 20. So we got 11 laps to go before stage yellow is thrown. Yingling is up front. Now it's the
Clear low.
second as Edward Sherwood Jr. is trying to
46, little loose.
Rogers.
He's pushing.
67, I tell you, he learned everything from that restart. He does not want to even give anyone a chance to be on his outside. He's going to put the 2 guys behind him side by side, and he's going to pull away. Right now, will he give some draft to both of these cars and try and keep them side by side even longer? This way, he can ensure himself a good chance to win that stage. As you see, kind of ducked down a little bit there. Put some air on the 71 and the 75, trying to keep them side by side. Don't
Does that splitter hurt my downforce?
have a big run coming out of this corner with these guys side by side. But
It seems like they can.
Pulling you on the straights, that's for sure.
They can turn sharper than I can.
71 coming out of the corner. Is he going to have the momentum?
It's lucky Doc's going to be in line from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's going to be Edward Sherwood Jr. We right on Brian with Brian Noel. And then also it's Aaron Smith, the second, going to be in 5th place. The 4th.
Maybe it was just my tire.
Drew Jula back in 36th position.
I was able to do it that time.
Declined back after being involved in our first wreck of the night back on lap 6. And now it's all drivers in line. The side-by-side racing kind of cooled off. But like you said before, Justin, tires, they kind of fall off after 7.
Big dirty air.
We made it to 6 before
That too.
yellow. We might only have just 2 laps before we really see the.
Oh yeah, 26 now outside.
And those that are waiting for this time to shine.
You got the 06 with you. He's going to give you a little bit of a shot.
Because
You're right with the 46. 46 been a little aggressive. He's been showing his nose a lot.
out. So these drivers.
So if he opens up a hole for you, you can try to fill it too.
Stage 20, everyone's going to be taking those tires off. You see guys duck out here. Looks like Aaron Smith's going to try and get around that Brian Noel machine.
Oh, it did not stick. That guy behind me about wrecked too, I believe.
Throughout this field, same. You can see guys really getting in a little race.
Yep, almost. He just about got into the 26. You're clear up, by the way.
Something that inside.
And had to save it.
One of the drivers that's given up the most.
Oh, I forgot to downshift. No wonder I got a bad exit.
Tarian has given up
Holy crap.
positions from where he started in 8th, now outside of the top 10. And if he wants those stage bonus points, he's going to have to make a pass here. Johnson, Sora, Hunter, those drivers not looking to try to be an easy pass just yet. But Vincent Sora, one of our biggest movers so far here early on, up 6 positions in this race as it started. Right on board with the 9 machine. Shane Terry and noted it on it during qualifying. A controller racer.
Yeah, they are pulling me big time on the straightaway.
Takes it out of the corner, trying to stay stable.
Yeah.
It is very claustrophobic at this moment between these 3 drivers of John.
That's right. Now you know though. When we
down into turn 1 once again.
when we get the stage break in 7 laps, you can come on down.
Oh, we're now.
It's gonna be a wreck behind you. Caution's out.
Violently sometimes just loses the front end when you're, especially when you got 2 cars in front of you side by side and you're so close to them. It seems
Trouble.
like
Huge collision further on back in the 30th position. Multiple drivers involved. And it's going to
Ryan Ferraro, Matt Rodriguez, and Chris Norris.
Ryan Ferraro.
Ooh,
and Richard
Chris Norris.
Wilson. Multiple drivers caught up in
He was really excited about
in
this
the
race.
transfer spot, getting through turn 1 to 2. And an incident was hectic. Christopher Norris, you can see them on kind of trying to set up passes ahead.
True, Derek, true.
Step 3 wide here as they go down in turn number 1. Richard Wolsifer, Joshua Kanata, Christopher Norris gets.
If I don't fix it, y'all just have to hear me complaining about it the rest of the race.
Back up into the field and nowhere to go for Ferraro.
No, that's exactly what happened there. He saw the 56 get that little loose, and when he did, kind of broke that momentum, and unfortunately the driver behind him had nowhere really to go, and both of them sliding across the track kind of blocked the field there.
Got a jar Everclear.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to make big moves, but just simple mistakes can hurt everyone out here. It's just nowhere to go. He just smoked Ryan Ferraro and Rodriguez as the two drivers drifted back up into the field. Everyone else able to avoid. But sadly, Ryan Ferraro will be our first victim.
It's actually water
tonight with the DNF.
Oh, I don't think Luce is fast. I think I'm
leaving us with a total of 30.
did a little bit of practicing, and
you might decide to make a pit stop here, but we're going to be in that shootout window. Justin, we're going to just have.
I know the brakes are hurting me because I can't. It's not rotating off the brakes. My front is actually pushing under braking.
Which this means it's either the stage yellow that's going to bring out.
If they've got their brake dialed more back,
a caution flag,
and they're probably able to
they can end our stage.
Angle the car into the corner better than I am.
What I'm thinking is, if I'm not in the top 5 to 10 positions where you can get to stage points and be on that strategy,
It was bitten.
I'm going to go in and get
One,
my
two?
tires right now, and I don't mind putting
2 people.
2 laps on them.
I probably should have went in since
Getting
I'm not going to get stage points.
You're going to cycle to the lead. I mean, I think that would be a great strategy for someone not inside that top 10.
Inside the top 5, how about that? Brian Noel comes into pit road.
I'm liking that call.
I might have should have pitted there.
Cycle to the front because all the drivers.
Should I?
Now you see, look at the cars.
Well, pit lane closed now.
Nice cushion of guys behind him on the same strategy, which means when
pit's closed now.
Gavin Rogers and the 71, the 70.
Because I could have sat there and got damaged
behind about 15
fixed
cars, Brian Noel,
and had a pack of 10 to race with.
On these restarts.
It's going to be Brian Noel, Nick Crawford, Ryan P. Johnson going to be the front.
Let's rewind it and let me go back a bit.
Deciding to pit. Then from 20th to around 30th.
Imagine if it worked like that.
From Jared Hughes all the way back.
I only saw 2 going in, so I was still wary of it. But when I saw more go in, I was like,
Not expected to see Noel make the stop of anyone up front because he was with his teammates inside the top 5. It was going to be a good points day for that 07, and instead gives up the stage points and wants to set up for the race at the end. That's always a gutsy call because we know stage points and little points here or there, they can add up when it comes
past
to
3 cars and I get stage points.
Placing you in or out of the playoffs.
Well, it definitely is. It could be one of those things where you can go back and look and say, I gave up a couple stage points, but what if he gets that win, Sam? That might be the thing that keeps him having to worry for the rest of the season. He's going to definitely have track position now. We know he had a great qualifying speed, so we know he's got that single car run speed. Maybe he's thinking, if I could just get that clean air, I know I could pull these guys off if I need to for the rest of this race, if I could be the command car.
Maybe it's a decision that's just thinking, okay, let's set up for a chance of maybe stealing some big points here late as the field's getting prepared.
Just hit the
for those lights to turn off.
Red
this gives us time to say
circle with a line and the top of it on your remote.
Out here for the WSSR, been a major sponsor for the last few seasons. It's been the trophy the drivers have hunted for since season 4, and that is Trophy Smack. Trophy Smack, your one-stop shop to go find yourself trophies, championship belts, rings, and more. If you go on over to TrophySmack.com, you can check out their wide range of selections of pre-made trophies or customized trophies that you can customize to your own liking, as well as customize the belts, the rings, and you also can go find customizable wall smack. They're metal plates that you get to put your own image on, and as well, it comes with its own magnet-safe wall placement system. And on top of that, if you'd rather have a placement,
I do think I learned something tonight.
Shelf, you can also find their stands
different settings
that they have as well. Remember, when purchasing at Trophy Smack, remember to use promo code WSSR Smack for 10% off. Thank you so much to Trophy Smack, who's been the primary sponsor these last few seasons, and also will be the championship provider for season 9 that the championship drivers are hunting for. And one of these drivers will get it for the first time of a trophy from Trophy Smack, as Benjamin Nelson has taken the trophy the last 2 seasons. Justin, it's always crazy to think that we're in a sim racing series. Bunch of random people come together. We got a series, and they're all challenging for a championship trophy that they all are going to be having a chance to hoist if you make it to the playoffs.
the popularity of iRacing is just growing, and having the trophy is amazing. I think of fantasy football leagues and how popular they've gotten over the years, and people have trophies. My brother actually has been running a league since 1995, and they have a trophy with all the players' names on it, and I'm thinking that's just really cool, and that's kind of what is happening with this league. You see it, they're now in season 9. Obviously, iRacing hasn't been around for 30 years, but it's the popularity. Everyone's getting involved in it now, and you find these big groups and big name groups. Drivers want to be in there. You got 39 drivers out here tonight, so winning a race.
All right, bud. Pace car's off.
It just becomes something that's like so important to these.
Coming to the restart zone.
You're racing and
ready.
Puts on a great show.
Go.
We got people watching now. Just fabulous how it's all working out, but we're going to be going back to green here, coming to lap 17. We're going to see if those new tires are able to make up any ground before the stage caution.
Just the 11 outside.
Here's all the way back, mired in 23rd of Bronson Stafford, but all the drivers
now 26.
Old tires and hoping for a good run. Initial start, give it to Larry Yingling on the green.
You are clear up, sir.
Off a second and third position, close to 75. Waits and watches in his mirrors. It's the Lucky Duck teammates going back and forth, but they finally will give up third.
Still clear low.
Edward Sherwood Jr. was able to take third position.
Holy crap.
Whoa, 11 gave you a shot. He drove that corner deep.
Forward, Vincent Sora, the 50.
Well, the guy in front of me had a huge checkup.
Check up a little bit. There you go. That's all right. Check up a little bit. There you go. Go ahead.
They're trapped in a hard place.
Stay low. 11 with you. 46 in front.
Maybe more as he continues to try to hold steady on contact.
46 has a 2 in front. He's going to give him a shot. He's going to throw it low. You're going to end up 3 wide right now. You're on the bottom. Hold your line.
It makes the whole field
4 wide. Hold your line on the bottom.
2, 3 wide, and this is going to
back 3 wide.
As it head down into turn number 1. Justin, this
still 3. Hold your line. Back 2. Just a 2 outside.
Contact 4 wide.
11's behind you. 26 behind the 2.
It's fading back. This is looking like a hornet's nest. The caution is low.
11 looking high.
The top 10. You gotta go now because this caution is waiting for.
Just the 11 right front.
Sit check. They make contact.
13 now right rear. Splitting it. Now 13 outside.
Around the 8. The 13 though, big loser on that cycle of.
Just the 13 now right rear.
Lost a lot of spots.
Still there.
We know he
up to the door.
I need to drive
16
my car.
with you. Clear
my car
beyond
won't
13.
cut there. There we go.
We're watching the 13 and the 8 battle for this position, but that got really scary multiple times right there. So Zach Hall, as we say that, look at him. He's right up there in the top 15 now, it seems.
You are clear all the way around, Brian. Way to get through that hornet's nest.
Set in the outside wall as it hit the front stretch, and that's going to cost even more drivers of dealing with issues and having to drive around the 72. Heavy damage, but we continue to stay green. 2 laps to go before the
yellow should come next lap.
And the drivers are inside.
We got to get this damage fixed.
Or 2 laps.
At this moment, top 10 is in the hands of Trent Jump, one of our biggest movers so far here tonight. Started back in 25th position, up to 10. Tom Bourne's been following also in suit. He started back in 24th. He's now up to 11th. They've done a great job moving forward, but on screen, watching some of the drivers with fresh rubber, this is the battling for 24th. Brian Noel, Ollie Fonseca going side by side.
Look at Zach just run me down.
Old tires, he'll fake quickly, but up front, those that are still able to hold quick speed.
Yeah, that's why I sent you that picture. I thought it probably would have been a good idea.
This next lap, we're officially in the white flag of the stage. Whatever flag is thrown next when they cross the line, that will be your stage break.
I had hopes and dreams.
Thrown at the line or before, and Yingling looks solid at this moment.
Looks solid right here.
32 is going to look low, left rear. He's going to throw it in the corner.
See the 75 behind him is going to drive down to the.
Nobody behind him yet. You are clear low.
7's trying to break the draft, but not going to be able to get close enough.
16 now behind you.
He's going to have one more chance coming out of the next corner. 67 gets to the bottom.
Coming up the front stretch.
They're kind of just lost the front of the nose and slid up the track a little bit, but still trying to maintain that distance.
You're going to be able to hold on to P17.
Corners onto that straightaway, not going to have enough momentum. And the 70 is
yellow's out.
Third position. That's going to be your top 3.
Larry Yingling crosses the line.
And get you all set up.
Stage winner, Gavin Rogers kept it close, and that will be the yellow flag thrown for the stage.
You want to tear up?
The Larry Yingling for the stage win. And as well, the other top 10 drivers will be Gavin Rogers, second, Aaron Smith, the second, third, Edward Sherwood.
All right, sir, you're all set. Give you your spotter back.
Vincent Sora, Ken Campbell, Shane Terrian, Chris Stintz, and Trent.
So those guys are going to go, they're going to stay out. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 that stay out.
It's so crazy that.
So I literally have 6 people behind me.
Easily, when he was inside of the top 10.
No, 8 people behind me. I get
top 5.
Yeah,
if he had stayed out there.
Yeah,
you're actually going to have some more. You're actually going to have more than that because Bronson Stafford, he went in on lap 7. A whole bunch behind him went in on lap 14. They're now going to stay out. And there's a good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're going to have about 13 at least behind you.
And he's going to have cars behind him that are going to keep 67 to 75. They're going to be about back there in maybe 10th, 12th position, I'm thinking. So it'll be interesting to see how much those
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Big Scar kind of gives us also time to take a look at a couple of other schemes that are out there on.
I'm going to be in
throwback
30th.
We talked about Gavin Rogers.
Or no, 28th if I come out. So I think I get damage fixed here.
I mean, in 5th, excuse me. That's going to be the 3 machine.
I mean, they just killed me on the straightaway.
Going with the throwback.
And then I overread the car right there.
Yeah.
Universe. Going with the strip.
That probably don't help either.
AKA the king in the car series.
Money shift.
Dynaco, blue, and also some white.
Pit road is now open.
Love to find some of the drivers. They didn't just go with real life throwback schemes. Some went with also, movies and TV shows throwback schemes as well.
What was I going to say?
Definitely a nice looking car there on the number 3 machine, and a car that we have
stay on the 32 all the way in.
Tonight, but right now we're seeing it. I'm pretty certain we're gonna see him in the top 5 before this night's over, and definitely battling to get up there with the 67 machines and the 75. He's gonna be one to definitely watch for, as you see actually is right now into the top 5.
Yeah, also another driver.
I hate when they check up pulling in like that.
Who was still in the middle of all that calamity. He's going with a very unique scheme for himself. He's actually running the 90s SCA C4 racing scheme. Different racing style schemes. Some drivers
50 seconds. We can get that in one go, right?
Some went with outside
this
of
big track.
Racing.
Watch the pace car for me.
Easily.
Entering their box.
Yeah.
And some of the drivers.
I got you.
We talked about making the pit stop and staying out was a choice, or do you pit and top off on fuel? Well, some of the drivers that made that pit stop under our last caution, staying out, not going to be making a pit stop. It looks like Carl Pooler staying out. He's going to be trying to lead a lap, as well as having Ryan Noel, Drew Jua, Nick Crawford, as well as Cody Reed and Ryan P. Johnson staying out on
pace car's middle back, plenty of time.
Plenty of time. 20 seconds.
Already pitted 8 laps ago. But the race off the pit road, Gavin Rogers actually able to get out before Larry Yingling in the 67. But let's talk. Let's see if we can get a word, I should say, with our stage winner of the 67 of Larry Yingling to get his thoughts on how this race is feeling so far.
All right, that's
Larry,
it.
it's Sam and Justin up in the booth.
All right, you got a brand new car, sir. Let's go.
Well, Larry, you fought, you climbed that first.
You ever seen last the first and 2 laps?
Then took it back, and then last couple of restarts.
Well, if you haven't, you're
I'm
probably
dropping a hammer. No, you're not.
Appreciate it. Yeah, felt pretty good.
If you haven't seen it, then you're probably still not going to see it after this race.
Warner more than me, so he might have been using more brakes than me in order to do that. But just randomly, I think because of wind, it would just randomly get loose and.
That's right. Match special and or match perfect and staggered special or whatever the line is. Yeah.
I definitely felt a little more loose, so probably.
Speaking of tire wear, that was perfect last time.
Larry, congrats on the stage win.
92, 92.
About the car getting a little loose on you, or maybe with the wind. Is there anything that drivers can do out there? Maybe utilize.
So I like.
Might even be
one
better
part
now
of
that
it.
you don't have to fight it so much.
Something like that. Is that anything you can do to try?
Yeah, I just got to work on the brakes.
I wasn't playing with it in the first stage.
Because I got the feel of what it wants, driving and balance wise. I just can't
more tighter or more
do a tighter entry with these brakes.
The RPMs are, it shouldn't get as much wheel spin off the corner, so it should be a little bit more stable, but you'll be a little slower. But it would help save fuel, which we might have to do the rest of the race if there's no yellows.
Well, Larry, again, congratulations on the stage win. I know you want to get up there and try to win here tonight, so we'll let you go back up to your team, and hopefully we talk to you later on here this evening.
Thank you, sir.
That's going to be your stage winner in the 67 Yin Yang machine of Larry Yingling. But
Larry out there getting a stage.
Them all.
He's killing it this season.
Thought maybe he was going to stay out for one lap, lead a lap. Take it away.
Where's Ron Kelly's in 11th?
The pit so far here tonight.
I'm bringing up the rear for 30 seconds.
Yep.
Justin, this is looking like we already saw what could have been chaos.
Wow. You had some damage. That wasn't your fault, so
could be even more.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Let's go.
We're going to be potentially so much slower than everyone else.
So I'm thinking maybe what he is out here thinking, Sam, is we got some of the cautions in the beginning. Wants to get away from all the trouble out in the
All right, we're idle in 2000,
run
so the engine does not have damage.
Fuel. Then he's going to pit and use that first set of tires. He might not lose a lap just because the track is so big. And
nah, looking back at your car, it's brand new.
Going to put those tires on, but he's going to have an extra set right now
with
over the
duct
field.
tape.
So if he's able to go another 10 or 15 laps before he has to pit, that's going to be his first set of tires. And maybe
did we just send it?
Race that comes back to save him. Maybe he's able to bolt on a fresh pair with 15 to go when no one.
Brand new race, Brian.
And maybe he could drive to the front. So maybe a big strategy play out of the 58 machine.
And we also heard during that talk with their Yingling,
I think we just send it.
Different gears could help with the fuel mileage.
Go.
Fifth gear, 41 laps.
Clear low.
If you're driving by your
now able to change lanes.
Gear and shifting.
That's what I'm saying, Derek.
38 laps. So we might be seeing a lot more drivers playing with their gear ratios to try to turn this race into a one-stop if we stay clean and green. But Carl Pooler already going to take us to the green. There's no more stage racing. It's about taking it to the end. Your top 6 drivers, older tires than the rest. But Carl
All right, 68 outside, right rear.
For a quick graze, but it's Carl Pooler.
Now you're getting a good pull. They're not beating you on the straights anymore. Let's go.
Top 3, and the driver that's on the move quickly here inside of our top 5.
One outside.
Massive run, not able to utilize it just yet. Instead, it's Drew Jua to the inside.
24 outside. He's going to check up a little bit because the 97 did not get a good exit.
Place confirmed. Third, not able to get
right rear. Now clear.
Well, that guy went into the pits.
Dropping back already to second.
Yes, he did. That's an immediate black flag.
I couldn't see him. I thought he was going to come back on track, too.
This race, knowing that if it stays green, this race could be.
Yeah, if that wall wasn't there, he would have.
Further on back, Danny Cochran had the issues on the exit of 4 and clobbers the inside pit wall.
Oh, not good for the number 2 machine there, Danny Cochran. But we stay green. That's going to be even worse.
Mostly single file all the way back to you, sir.
Those single car incidents, iRacing not picking up the caution, and right here we're still seeing the 07 machine. Brian Noel, he's going to get back by the 58 Carl Pooler. Set of sights on Drew.
All right, 5 right front.
13 on screen.
Hold on to it, sir.
Brian Noel.
There you go.
Off here at
5 outside.
Under the 58, but we'll have to check in on that.
Clear up.
For an incident when we get that replay up, Sam.
In trouble for a driver behind this 07. It's going to be Edward Sherwood Jr. after being forced high from going 3 wide on the entry of turn 3, just losing over 5 positions in a blink of an eye. Also already seeing drivers wiggling motions off the exit of these.
A little bit of a check up here too.
So tough every single lap that they go around this track. And I want to also take a look at our weather conditions as we're seeing Edward Sherwood Jr. trying to work on that outside groove.
You are 3.
Is how
I was going to double
just a 14 outside.
Well, it hasn't shown a lot here as we're still at 125 degrees track temperature.
I would have
14 maneuvered him. You should be able to get him on exit.
120 at one time, declined at one moment up to 130 degrees. That wind is still fluctuating 2 miles per hour from 5.
All right, outside.
See how that can.
Nothing doing behind you.
As the race progresses, it's trying to jump. That's a big save for the 47. He tries to hold, staying low, able to do
14 on you tight.
And high, and the rest of the field carrying better
right rear
speed on the exit of turn 4, and that 46
clear up
backwards.
Lost a lot of time. You saw him come out of the corner, even get a little loose the second time there as he was trying to gather it up. Not ideal for him, losing a lot of positions on the straightaway, just not.
Derek, I completely missed what you said.
Hey, we're only 28 laps in. He's got to regroup, try and salvage a good finish here. All his time to get back. Never know what's going to happen. Most important thing, did not have any accidents. You see the 11, same things. He's going to get loose coming out of the corner. It just kills the momentum.
29 right rear, clear up.
See these drivers.
Sounded like you were giving me info on driving.
Oh my goodness, he pulled right up in front of the 46.
It says, seems like popping it in on entry to 1 and 3 is your best shot.
They have past history with one another as The 11 John Force, Trent Jump, former driver.
Stay high.
Race for champions.
Oh yeah, Derek. I'm trying my best to do it. That's where my brakes are hindering me at.
That's trouble. Another driver going down to the inside wall. Exactly where Danny Cochran had trouble, and that's Tom Bourne, who gets into the inside wall. He continues to race on, but that was a hard hit to the left side. And Tom Bourne now has required damage. He has to drive around the track a whole lap before pit road calls for him.
Multiple incidents happening on this previous lap. And we stayed green somehow, but just a lot of single car incidents right there coming out of turn 4. And a couple guys that didn't hit the wall. We lost a lot of track position. You see right here, the 06, just having that little bit of issue struggling right here. Right,
they're all stacked up in front of you, Brian.
Cars by and potentially car not probably up to ideal speed.
Once you start to pick off one in this line, you're going to get a few of them. Oh, hold on to it.
It's this time by.
You're okay.
So
just a little bit of a door check.
That was Mike Tellier in the 90s.
He hit me.
Matthew Rodriguez, affiliate driver with
he did.
Part of Hula Monkeys, got more part of Sky.
61 outside, clear 61.
Steady to enter pit road. He'll go shooting down the inside. Also, another driver wasn't trying to shoot down there. Saw the Hot Wheels machine. That is the 4 of Justin Forbes, and a driver that's learning a lot this season. One of his first seasons ever doing a sim racing series and a throwback scheme of the Jack Boldwin's 1993 Hot Wheels Camaro machine, and always nice to see a Hot Wheels machine. I love it whenever drivers try to take the imagination that Hot Wheels machines brings out and try to place it on one of these next-gen cars, or even on the trucks that we sometimes see these drivers try to rock. As we move forward,
I can't get to him. I should have pulled down earlier.
Seeing the Lucky Duck teammates, 1-2 of Drew Jua, Brian Noel.
I forgot there was a bubble. Forgot there was a bubble there.
Johnson, 3rd and 4th position.
Yeah.
A little bit of work to catch up for front 2, but England on the freshest set of tires. He's been doing a great job climbing his way through this field, and now he's got one more before we can really try to tackle our top 2 drivers.
And speaking of the top 2 drivers, we have to definitely touch on the fact that the 77 Drew Jewett involved in that first incident of the night when he kind of got clipped there on the inside and then went back into the wall and hit it with the front right side of the car pretty well. I mean, the damage didn't really show up. You made a note, Sam, there was no required damage, so it might be one of those iRacing things where the incident looked harder than it was, but the damage doesn't show up because it's not
bad exit on that one.
He's out there pushing the air right now.
I was too close to his bumper.
Holding speed on that front straightaway, not having a problem. Even
a little tight. I got you.
The older tires and the cars behind him, just about 3 or 4 laps older, but still able to hold strong.
You see the train and
61 tag the wall.
That are willing, if they have the momentum, to duck low to try to
right front.
That's
clear.
It's going to be under fire from Trent Jump, and now going to have Tom Senchek and a couple of others trying to settle for a pass to move forward at this current time. Brian McCann, who the 8 machine, sorry, a little bit further back than what we traditionally see from the 8 machine, and currently running back in 21st position. Let's take another look at the 11 of John Forbes' machine for a quick second there, but his field in the middle of the pack.
A little low. There you go. You got to have a little bit of a pull here.
Possible for themselves. We hop on board with Bronson Stafford, one of the drivers.
The 11 was really quick with you earlier in the race, so if you can stick with him, you'll be just fine.
Over and
you are clear up. He's still low though.
We was saying, I'm not
what an undercut.
You got one now low.
Shows up.
16.
Right. I know he comes in with minimal amount of practice, but already at 22nd position, not a bad place to be for the night.
He's still there, door.
Seeing a little bit of action.
Left rear, trying to pull you back a little bit, keep it off the wall.
Seen with one another, it's going to be seen the 26th.
You got help behind you.
Check John Ford.
Still inside.
Canada, McCann.
You're giving him a good lane.
Next to the corners, Justin. How difficult is it? We heard that it can get tight.
Still there.
Pulls in that 5th gear. What are you?
They are all nose to tail. Clear low.
They're trying to drive side by side this late into a run.
Good job, Brian.
And now being
way to hold that off
into this run, I would think the tires are definitely starting to feel like they don't want to turn anymore. But this track being so much momentum, Sam, you come out of the corners, and if you have to lift, you see the 11 just kind of sliding coming out of the corner there. That was impressive, but
11 got a bad exit right there.
You want to carry all the momentum.
Benefit you, clear up.
If you have to lift, you know you're going to lose spots, but if you don't and you hit that wall, you don't want to knock these fenders in too much. I mean, you never know. You kind of get that suspension damage, and you might end up requiring repair. These cars can take a beating, but how much can they take? That's the question. And right here, you see the 8 complete pass on the 11.
All right, he's pinching you down, right front.
We're starting to hit that.
Hold on to it. There you go. You're clear.
We had a couple cautions early in the first 20 laps. We didn't really get over about 8 laps. Right now, we're coming up on lap 13 into this run, and drivers are definitely going to be having these tires.
The 11's going to go with you wherever you go.
Tires squealing. Nick Crawford on some of the older tires. He's starting to fade and back to clutches of those that pitted at our stage break. That's the 74.
He's giving you a lane.
Now the 3.
Outside.
He is coming up better run, and he'll send it to the inside of Crawford.
Still there.
One of each drivers starting to get a little bit more spacing in
Clear up.
the whole pack.
Nope, not there.
Pods of battles between one another. Battle for that 3rd place position starting to creep up.
11's with him.
A little bit closer.
16 also with them.
Part of this creeping up. Gavin Rogers as well.
11 outside.
Those two, I think they're going to be the
Still side by side.
So we enter the playoffs to watch out for. They won some of the most races this season.
11 outside, pinching you down. Hold your line.
These young drivers
After 2 laps, you can't do the bottom line no more.
be so fast.
So you got to make that pass and get back in line and let it cool off.
Andy Johnson
That right rear gives out.
trying to hold
Yeah.
Gavin Rogers if possible, and
That's right. You are back to P20. You're up 3 spots overall, so you're doing your thing.
the likes of Rogers
I gotta let-
as well.
Damn, he's in the wall.
And he's still defending quite well at this moment, running comparable speeds to Larry Yingling.
He is right there running in the top 5 positions.
I gotta let that right rear cool off though. I might have to push him around.
In the clean air, being able to utilize the draft, maybe even save some of the time.
Okay.
Having that toe down the
So
street
you know he's got the speed.
early, trying.
I'm watching a few cars up ahead. They're 3 wide right now.
They got the new tires.
Keep running your line.
They had to work a little harder to get around.
Back double plow, 2 rows deep.
And they used up a little more tires. You see right here, 3 wide battle. The 46 going to be on the inside.
Oh,
Gonna
no.
make the attack.
Oh, a little bit
All
of
single file.
trying to jump into center corner.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Steady. He'll now go 2 wide. It's jump has to back out of it. Cody Reed on that 3rd lane had no idea that there were bumps being given, but he'll try
Tight.
to carry that momentum off the outside and just try to maybe go for a pass. But instead, we go from 3 wide entering 3 to everyone in line. And it was actually the middle driver that got tapped that takes both those spots.
The middle
I've done killed my tire or something.
That's 13.
Oh no.
Hunter in the throwback paint scheme that you mentioned. As we go right here up to the top 10
Overdriving.
position, your pick, Sam, Aaron Smith, hanging strong.
All right, cool him off.
Guys all day trying to get that done for you. And right behind him, Ryan Kelly, who we talked about, also showing up in the top 10 as well, running in 9th position.
Don't be afraid to open up the wheel a little bit if you can.
There's a 3 that we decided on. Aaron Smith, the second, one of our
Let it all the way out to the wall. Just don't hit the wall.
And seeing the rest of the field now, they've been
I'm the guy holding them up now.
Justin, I mean, a lot of our pick drivers, they've been running well the last couple of weeks. I know yourself
Oh my God.
picking Ryan Kelly last week. It worked out to see Kelly win. Very saw it here tonight. You know, you picked Larry Yingling. He's in.
This is the right front, not my right rear.
It seems like all 3 of our picks doing well because I got to give credit to Zach Hall. He's up to 13th position. 32's done a fabulous job.
I just now got my right rear starting to cool down.
Last with an L1 penalty of a marker break.
Okay.
Last week at Dover, he's now 13th, right behind Ken Campbell. That's 5 seconds off our leaders at this moment.
And I have to correct myself. I said you picked Aaron Smith, and we actually have Zach Hall. And like you said, driving up there this field, getting up in 13th position.
You were faster than those around you 3 of the last 5 laps, so you're still competitive.
One of the 3 drivers we talked about might.
Yeah, they just, that lap right there, they started to get cooled off.
It's not currently happening because the 77 is still holding off Brian Noel, but Larry Yingling is still 1.9 seconds back. Sam, even with the 3 lap better tires, he's kind of been in that 2-second range. It seems like he's right there and not able to utilize the draft off of those 2 cars. So he's having to do it on his own. Those 2 up front are able to kind of draft off each other and pull down the straightaways better than the 67 is right now. As you see, it doesn't really have anyone in front, not close enough to get that toe.
Yeah, nothing will get the toe, but the one thing that I am most concerned about for our top 2 of a true jewel up Brian Noel, were they thinking on an option? Because these drivers, we were given a fuel window of anywhere. If you were saving fuel in the draft, focus 100%. You can drive about 41 laps. Now with the stage yellow,
I got a little throttle happening
You're
now.
okay.
more laps, you might be able to try to stretch it out.
You got 4/10 back to the guy behind you, and you can see everything out of your windshield.
Right, well, they pitted 8 laps sooner than the state yellow team.
You're doing fine.
I don't know if we, under that pacing area, to save enough. They would have had him clutching immediately, really in the mindset of we have to save our fuel to try to turn this race for one stop from here. Our top 2, they got a lot of work. And for Drew Jula, he's not being gifted with that draft help. He has to be full throttle.
Yeah, I got the tires back, started overdriving, and now I've lost them again.
I was just going to bring
What
up
a crazy back and forth.
going to make it. Drew Jula, I can't see doing it because I think they pitted lap 15, so that's 85 laps. If you figured a max was 41 running in 5th gear, that's about 82 laps, even with the caution laps we had. That puts it borderline scary. But him out there pushing that air, you know he's running as hard as he can.
I see 4 spots right ahead of you. You can take.
Better chance just being able to draft behind him like he's been for these last 15 to 20 laps. Larry Yingling,
Nice and steady.
just pitting 8 laps later, like you said. He doesn't have anyone in front of him, so he's definitely burning more fuel. But having an 8-lap push, I'm pretty confident everyone who pitted at that stage is going to be in good shape. But I would be really nervous about the top 2, like you said.
Richard Wilsifer in the 56.
16 coming up.
Was planning on running.
Staying with you.
Just was not able to load. I don't know if he didn't set it up properly.
Pushing you all the way in. You're on the 11's bumper.
With this 56 at this track, it is it's kind of weird to look back on, but Richard Wilsifer, we've kind of watched him gradually find the speed each and every season. He showed up back in season 5, and it was Richard Wilsifer's just his return of
Nice runoff right there.
racing in iRacing after taking a 10-year hiatus. And for the past 2 years, he's been growing as a driver. Took a season break in the middle of season 5 to now, and it has been a pleasure to watch him. We've also watched him in plenty of other leagues, and Richard here tonight, it kind of was a fun night to come back to, thinking back that season 5 when it was his debut race in WSSR, and now 4 seasons later, he's running out here once again as he's struggling at this moment. Other drivers that are trying to find some speed just inside of our top 30. You have Jared Hughes that's trying to have a good run for himself, but we have to move up inside of our top 10 because there is some chaotic racing going on for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10th position.
Okay. Wreck up. Caution's out.
For a second, then it turned into Edward Sherwood Jr. And oh no, Ryan Kelly blasted by the 71. Come back up the track. Oh no, Lucky Ducks. Calamity strikes, and there's the yellow flag on lap 42. And this is the caution that was rumored that if it lined up here, this could cause the rest of the race into a weird spot for pit stops from here on.
That was Aaron Smith and my teammate.
But I can't wait to see this replay. I mean,
Yep.
these drivers have to be ultimately frustrated. Aaron Smith just unfortunately in the wrong place.
Okay, let me get you set up.
Through his here, Sam.
Is it going to be seen?
Give me that windshield tire off.
Sherwood Jr. side by side. I don't know if there was contact.
I got you ready. I got you.
They were close.
Need a fresh helmet.
All right.
There's just a little bit
71
of cosmetic
gets
damage
loose
on
up
the
on the
back
outside.
left side.
Snaps
but
loose.
it
Tail
looked
slaps
like
the
brake.
3.
All right, sir.
Both drivers down.
Oh, I missed it.
Once
He
it looks like for Ryan Kelly trying to stay off the inside wall.
Oh, Kelly
Back on the
comes
race.
back up and hits Aaron.
Smith the second, the innocent victim, and then Edward Sherwood Jr. tries to race on.
Yeah, there wasn't nothing Aaron could do.
Them, but an
Oh my goodness.
circumstance of just hard racing, kind of a major just unlucky.
I didn't see what happened to Ryan though.
I was just about to ask if we could get on board. I need to see this from his view.
We're on board with Aaron right now.
Coming out of this next corner.
Everybody's lined up. Close up to the guy in front.
Who's going to come down?
Don't give him anything. Just watch for the brake check.
He's going to carry so much speed. The 70 has to think he's in good shape. Whoa, no. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Clobbers.
All right, max speed. Don't speed.
It's been the Lucky Ducks kind of MO this season. Just unfortunate circumstance after unfortunate circumstance. And I took another look at it from my point of view. There was no contact made between Gavin Rogers and Edward Sherwood Jr. Just simply was side by side, lost the rear end through the center of the corner, and tried to chase it all the way through the short chute. And it just never caught up with Edward Sherwood Jr. And unfortunately, it was Kelly that was involved. Hard contact, but they'll continue to race on.
All right, come. Don't speed.
Smith the second, though, he joins the pile of drivers that have called it a night. as the DNF, given to the 70 machine. Also, Mike Tellier's called it a night. Matt Meir has called it an evening. On top of that, Tom Bourne, Danny Cochran, and Ryan Ferraro were also part of
Hey, Aaron, yeah, you could. There wasn't nothing you can do there. I saw that on the replay.
Says the race off a pit road.
Didn't see what happened to Ryan, but I saw him come up the track, split 2 cars, and hit you.
Go to the 07 of Brian Noel to be the leader off that restart.
He is going to be the
Hey, Aaron, it's Pete. How are you?
Decided to give up that stage positions in the beginning of the race. Now going to be leading this race. We'll have the clean air, but he's going to have the 67 right behind him. Drew Jua going in as the leader, not coming out as the leader, though, unfortunately going to be lining up third on the inside line behind the 07. So he should hopefully get a good restart for him. But I got to talk about 2 things I noticed on the pit stops. One, there was a driver, Zach Hall, now inside the top 10, coming out 8th.
Hey, that sucks, Aaron.
Moving on up, but I saw Brian P. Johnson slide through his box, Sam, when we were talking about Ryan Kelly there. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. I saw him reversing. You know that caused
Yeah, I'll have to go back and see what happened to Ryan.
a yellow pit stop when the drivers were all bunched up. Lost valuable.
He slid all the way down in the grass.
Huge loss of time for sure. Given
Looked like he caught you
as the
cutting the corner to come up and hit you. I mean, it wasn't nothing he could do.
For himself for the wave around, and for us up in the booth, this might be a perfect time to take our.
That's all I saw. I didn't see what got him into that position.
Halfway here tonight, still plenty of hard racing to go. We've seen a couple of big wrecks. But are there any bigger ones?
I can go back.
Or will we stay clean and green to the end? We'll have to wait and see as you are watching the WSSR Cup Series Season 9, Race number 9, the Indianapolis 250 here.
Well, I'm ahead of where I qualified.
All the coverage back right after this to go green at Indy.
Yeah, you are.
So that's something we got going for us.
You can keep on hitting me.
Tire wire was 89, 86. So I need to lean on that right front a little bit
at all
more.
that you could. You just. That was just all between. That was all between the 3
You're on Ricky Fat
if not, I would have just killed you and
and 71. They made door-to-door contact, sent the 3 into the infield, bounced off the infield wall, came back out on track and took you out. Nothing you could do.
To the center of the corner, figure out how to get out of the way.
Who was the 3 side by side with that they doored?
The 15 wins! One last.
Ed Sheeran.
He's right on the bumper.
Shearer.
He's gonna be made. Will there be contact? Here comes Thompson. Check on the.
I have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, it looked like Ed tried to keep it off the outside wall on exit and hit him.
Here comes Vincent Sword to the inside, but it's not enough. Brian Johnson wins.
What was that, about lap 42?
He's trying his best to hold on, or will he?
Yeah.
It's Cedric Hunter by a nose.
All right, buddy. P18 up 5.
5. That's impressive.
Hey, how about that?
Get ready.
Technically, we came at one point from like 38.
Yeah. All right. Ryan Noel's leading. Coming to the restart zone now. And go, go, go.
Green, green, green. Outside.
As the pace car pulls off, we're about to go green. It's Brian Noel.
All right, just a 61 outside.
As we enter the restart zone, we're green.
Clear up.
Indianapolis 250. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are back to green flag racing. Drew Jua not waiting any time.
1 outside, 26.
As they're
You're back among company that you were with before you got that damage, so you're doing well.
conditions so far.
26 still outside.
They're on track, but this is the coolest the track has been on temps. 118 degrees is the track temp. It's cooled off a little bit, but the wind.
26 door.
Breeze. That's
Hold your line.
All those factors have changed up. I didn't say I'm Geyer.
Still outside.
Is Justin Malarkey and Justin.
He tagged the wall. You're clear up.
They're back to 1 and 2 races.
Oh, that's a stack up.
Weather, I think that's the big thing. They got a little bit extra grip to work with.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with you either. You gave him plenty of room.
Racing as we're seeing for second place.
We are seeing that for second place. 67 is on waste to any time. Leda is going to bring in Vincent Sora right behind him. Coming
All right, 17 right front.
Drew Jua Let's look at the pushing going on, going off into turn 1. 51's going to wisely lift. This one pushes 67 too far into the corner. These drivers.
17 again, right front.
Not able to kind of stay on the bottom.
It's a drag race between you, the 25 and the 11.
This long straightaway, these drivers need to build up some big momentum.
But watch out for the 51, Vincent Sorup. He's got a big enough front. He
Clear up.
3 wide. He's done it multiple times in the middle of the pack.
17 right front.
For another possible chance. Called it. Here it is. Trying to go for the
side by side.
Found the momentum and trying to get by Larry Yingling. He gave it Yingling one good shove. Said this
outside
is to make this pass. Now get out of my way. I'm going to move forward for a top 3 finishing.
You have a couple up there. You might get a little bit of a whip off of. Not much though.
Yeah, Rogers, I know, has some fans out there on track cheering on the 75 and a couple of other drivers.
Clear up, sir. Good job.
Trying to find some good momentum.
That's going to move you up to P15.
Just inside the top 5. He is a driver to watch out for, but he hasn't shown strength here on the long run. In the short run where he's been very dominant, but Brian Noel just put down the fastest lap, and he is pulling away. Gap almost a full second between first and second already with all the battle going back and forth.
Oh, full second already opening up. Brian Noel. You have to remember, he was behind on that previous one. He was one that was about a second back. Now he's got a chance to pull out there and gap. Larry Yingling actually pull up there in a second maybe and get it going through this corner as you ride on board right here with the 51 distance.
There you go.
Great view of Larry Yingling able to complete
25 outside door.
trying to catch Brian Noel and recapture this lead.
Right rear.
Lead again, and kudos to Drew Jua, one of our bigger movers, and it's based on
Back on your door.
of bidding
Still there.
for the end of stage. That function at the middle of stage 1 that enabled both the OC
Outside.
have this track position.
Pinching you. Outside. He's on the wall.
Slap though, and
You're clear behind him now.
cleaner air with that gap built out. See if anyone else can really close in this gap as we're closing in ourselves on halfway. A few other drivers want to say to take a look at on their schemes and also on their run. Running in 9th place currently and trying to set up a pass to get by his former teammate Shane Tarian, being pressured by Zach Paul in the 32. Zach Paul bringing out a throwback scheme of his back in the day season 5 scheme that he would run. This was a Joe Nemechek 90s car that Joe Nemechek ran back in the day, and it's 32, hoping to bring back a little bit more of that magic that he had back in season 5, trying to make the pass. Again, former Carolina Reaper teammates from last season. They split up, went to their own teams. Sky joined Snowy Desert Racing as Shane went back to his traditional team with Sky Motorsports, but respect each other on track. And 32 now up to 8th place.
Has that nice logo on the front, the 5 for the season 5. Throwback, like you mentioned, very nicely done. Has a lot of speed in that machine, as we know. We talked about it. Starting in the back of the pack tonight with the penalty from last week, up to 8th position. He restarted 8th, didn't restart.
Sorry to cut you off. Trouble.
I don't know if the 11 is saving or what, but he is holding up to 25, and the front pack is just pulling away.
Getting into Christopher Norris on the back stretch. And both drivers,
there you go.
Rich Wolfsburg gets the work.
Follow him through. Right front, door.
Christopher Norris running a SpongeBob themed partnered up.
He's pinching you down. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line.
Decided to run the current 2 schemes here tonight. But
all right, 17's going to go with him. You are clear up.
Contact
Rode the whole exit, bumping up with him.
Outside.
Definitely don't want contact to distract.
Yeah, he did.
We've seen it with the
Clear up.
other cautions we've had, how easily it is to spin out with the speeds they're carrying. But I tell you what, being lap 51, Sam, right now we're in the back half of this race. Drivers you mentioned when that last caution came out, it kind of puts them in that position where no one can make it on one more
The 11 is not happy with him.
time. But when do you make the stop? With being able to go approximately 40 laps on fuel, you could run and try, get to about lap 80, 85, and then make your pit stop, but you're giving up time on the older tires. But if you do pit early and the caution comes out, there's a chance that you're going to need to go in and get tires, and other people in front of you are going to have that track position when they go in and get the tires, just because they'll have to pit, just similar to how we saw Brian Noel use that strategy. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do.
Let these guys battle it out, Brian. Just kind of ride for a little bit.
a lot of the field in that spot up.
That way you don't get into that scenario that you had earlier where you start to lose the right front and you have to calm down the tires.
back and forth. I
have a feeling once that 11 gets to the inside or outside, there's going to be a problem.
But seeing the battling going back and forth.
Are we losing a lot on the people in front of us?
And also battling behind of drivers.
Oh God, I overdrove.
It's kind of stabilized now.
And Bronson Stafford having their own duel back and forth. And for the 23rd position, number 5 machine, one of our last throwback schemes that are out there on track. This one special for Dakota. He wants to have a good run here this evening, running the Pepsi number 5. Because this was the Ernie Irving 1989 scheme. It was one of Dakota's dad's favorite drivers back in the day. And so Dakota able to run the throwback scheme again. Drivers bringing out memories for their first.
They're staying about 1.4 ahead of the 25.
That Blazing Fast TV machine is trying to continue to push his way forward, now up to 22nd position.
Second position, got the Blazing Fast on the side right there, trying to show that he's getting it done. Looks like in that picture right there, I saw a little bit of smoke. Not sure if that was just a little maybe tire lockup. Thought I saw a puff of smoke there. We got a driver on pit road.
Unless one of them makes a mistake, I probably can't even pass him.
Between Trenton Jump and Justin Forbes making contact between one another, and that's what forced the 4 into pit road, and that's what that big puff of smoke was.
We've got to have help for the draft.
What happened between these two as Trenton Jump, who had been battling further on back at a low to speed, closed in, makes contact, and there's that puff of smoke. Just nowhere to go for either driver with no oncoming traffic. This race stays green, even with that spin.
The right rear is not happy.
Wow. I mean, they got lucky there, though. Like you said, no oncoming traffic. Could have been way worse than it was. The 4.
Yeah, 2/10 back to Senchak.
Could have been way worse. But up front, that 67, he has run down the 07.
He's right in your tire tracks, too, so he's not going to be able to do much with the dirty air.
Is he going to put up a fight? He's going to try and hang on that outside. Yingling gets a little twitchy coming out of the corner, but it does not matter. Too much power out of the 67. Larry Yingling to the front. The 07 going to try and stay right in his draft and stay with this 67, who's definitely been one of the fastest drivers here tonight.
Yeah, it looked like one driver dropping low, the other one pushing high, and both able to at least get out of the corner quickly there. And now Larry Yingling back to the top spot, able to get by both lucky duck drivers of Drew Jua and Brian Noel. And the 67 winner of this race back in season 2. And he only led 15 laps of that race. And it was a long race back in season 2. 129 laps they ran during that race. I'd go overtime a couple of times and only had 3 cautions during that race. Here tonight, take a look at our race report. Had a couple of
good exit there
this evening. In the past couple of races, we've had ourselves with back in season 5, we had 7 cautions. Last season, we had
Justin Forbes wrecked. So far, no caution. Keep it going.
This track was Justin. This race could turn into a caution fest. I gotta give kudos. We've done a pretty good job having a couple of decently long green flag runs.
We've had pretty much a perfect race where we've had a little bit of caution, a little action. We got a little bit of long runs, seeing how these drivers can handle the older tires. And right now, we're kind of in a place where we have some good strategy here at the end. We're expecting drivers to get into that window where if they pit in about 10 laps, they're confidently going to make it to the end. That could be their early final pit stop, or some guys could run it out even further into the lap 80, 85 range, and that will give us all kinds of different strategy to talk about. So we're really getting into that window where it's going to be a really exciting race to call to the end.
And with us being able to run currently 11 laps of green flag racing so far, we're starting to see that trend of drivers that were pushing their tires a little bit too aggressively on this restart are starting to feel the curve, dropping back, losing time. Brian Noel, again, losing ground to Larry Yingling, but a few drivers that are really on the move. Kudos to Zach Paul. Gavin Rogers has trapped with the pressure on Edward Sherwood Jr., but Vincent Soar in 3rd place. He's the driver that I have circled up to watch out for, but there is speed.
You and Senchak are both faster than the 11.
It's Drew Jua and Brian Noel that I'm most concerned about as the Lucky Duck machines. He would push so aggressively to try to get back in that lead position and pull away from the rest of the field, and it's now hurt them. Everyone else is reaping the rewards of catching up to them.
And a driver that really got to give a huge shout out to all the ones you mentioned, Sam, but right here, we're on board with Cedric Hunter. We have to remember, there was one point where we were very concerned with, I was really worried I was like, hey, just cool down and everything's going to work out. He was getting hit left and right. It seemed like on that one lap we were watching him, got put 3 wide, got shuffled up into the outside wall, almost lost
26 looking left.
Great back.
He's there. Bumper.
He didn't let that incident affect
Overdrove the crap out of him.
Really smart.
Holding onto it. Still inside.
First rate affect him. He was able to overcome it, and now he still has a chance to do really well tonight, running inside this top 10 after.
Ooh, that was close. All right, still there.
I had to get out of it, not to hit the wall.
17's going with him.
Even if he's caught up in an issue early on.
I get it.
It's
Going backwards.
If he makes mistakes
Still inside.
in the race, it kind of propels the 13.
You are clear low.
His best finishes in the hospital. Sometimes even puts him in a winning mindset of, all right, I got to race even harder. I got to hit the marks even better, and not just, kind of maybe getting a lull of being up front. Cedric Hunter up to 8th place in that lap that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Back at 18, we're coming to the end of stage 1. It was chaotic. A lot of different drivers look like pinballs being pushed around. But here's your top 5 currently, and you see a lot of lucky ducks. Ying Yang Racing with Larry Yingling leading the charge for first, then Brian Noel, and also Nightmare Fuel of Vincent Sora in third. And then it's Lucky Ducks 4-5, Drew Jua, Edward Sherwood Jr. The 4th Lucky Ducks driver is out of this race. Aaron Smith second after contact between himself and the 3 of Ryan Kelly after mishaps through the 3 and 4.
40 to go.
This current moment, taking the field, it is running green. And, we talk about shifting, and we hopped on board with Ken Campbell. He is shifting in the 15. You just saw it there when we hopped on board. He's shifting down into Ford. He's using a little bit more of that fuel, but keeping up with the pace of our front runners at this moment.
Yeah, most importantly, keeping up with the pace. Right now, he's probably thinking, I don't need to save any kind of fuel because everyone's got to pit once. He's going to max that engine out as best as he can, try and gain as much speed as he can. You see right here, he wants to really get up there with those cars in the front so he can kind of get a little bit more toe. So he's pushing as hard as he can. But just right now, doing what he needs to do. Most importantly, as you see, he's one of those drivers.
Well, ahead of him, though, it's going to be the 07 of Brian Noel having a little bit of a slip up. Almost gets in the wall and taking out his teammate. The 07 keeps it straight. There was smoke ahead. And they could have been bad and getting positions now as the 07 pulls back. The tires just weren't there to go side by side. Edward Sherwood Jr. now under pressure to fall backwards, as well as Gavin Rogers is struggling right at this moment. We're starting to see a different surge of different drivers able to keep up with speed, but it's the 07. I'm concerned those tires are heated up. He's got some right side damage. He's got to reset. But also trying to defend as Nick Crawford, Brian Johnson are here to try to put pressure on the 07.
No, nobody's fitting.
Getting in there and getting 4 fresh tires and regrouping, like you mentioned, getting back on that other strategy. It worked for him early in this race. So right now, maybe we'll see him enter the pit.
The latest anybody was on pit road was lap 43. Well, you called it, and Brian Noel just went down pit road.
Right here. It looked like the...
he wants track position.
He went way down the block.
Undercut's going to be huge here.
I think it might have just gotten loose.
Yeah.
Road.
One more lap, and it'll be 20 since you've been back green.
Inside the window. You can make it from here. And I think that's a great audible call.
Or 20 since you were last on pit road, I should say.
Maybe it's too soon for his liking. Maybe this isn't a race-winning move, but this is a race-saving move to put you in a position to try and recover at least. Because a lot of other drivers, I think, we could be expecting pit stops in the next 10 to 15 laps. And this is the advantage to the 07 to really gain a lot of that time back.
But yeah, the 07 will be hoping for is go out, run 10 laps, like you said. And he's going to hope that he's able to run faster than the leaders, gain all that time back that he lost with that incident right there.
Hey, what are the leaders turning compared to my lap?
Everyone most likely would be pitting again just because they would have laps on.
Okay, yep, absolutely. Larry Yingling's last lap was a 54.2. Yours was also a 54.2. You were actually 2/100ths faster than the leader.
Yeah, he's going to need a little bit.
I need track position.
The driver's really struggling. So Cody Reed as well as Sega ducking extremely low. Both struggling on finding pace to stay ahead as they're starting to feel the wear and tear.
I think we bid early.
They're just 19 laps.
Can I make it on fuel from here?
Kind of an odd spill that we're seeing these drivers dealing with as they
see.
And,
yes, by about 5 laps.
Could be the fact that these drivers, they're racing a little bit faster than they were earlier in the race, and to be changing how they're attacking this course, as Chris Ditz and the 3 of Ryan Kelly going to be side by side with one another. This is for 16th place, but up front, our top
Bit next time by.
on top of one another, and it's been sliding back and forth between Drew Jua,
All right.
Vincent Sora. Back to the point.
Standing you up now.
Justin, the fact that these drivers are running faster because of the weather, I'm curious if maybe that's the factor that these drivers feel like that maybe the weather's hurting them, or they all have the strategy of let's push aggressively now because we're going to pit soon.
Immediately, I think what you said, a combination of both right there. These drivers are probably thinking, we don't need to run 40.
All right, you're all set. I'm giving you back to spotter.
30 and 30 and split it, and then they're probably knowing that they at least have a little bit of less laps so they can push a little harder. But I tell you what, Sam, I think you might have the driver to beat right now. That number 4 place car, Zach Hall.
Watch any changes that you made to your brake bias.
And he's been passing cars all night tonight. He hasn't had a chance to really save the tires. He's been always having to work passing people, and he is fast.
I mean, that's the one positive of if you start further on back, you learn the
All right, max speed, but don't speed.
lap traffic. It enables you to know, okay, when I'm this close to the car ahead, now I need to adjust my car to make some passes as more drivers are entering pit road. Brad McCann going to be in 23rd position and falling. He's entering pit road. That'll be exiting soon. Also saw Christopher Norris exiting pit road now. And
Nobody came down behind you, so you can have a clear window out.
A few drivers making that call, but Zach Hall, he's running 3 to 4 tenths faster than our top 3.
All right, come, don't speed.
Fourth, Zach is catching up, and the track temp, it just dropped another degree. It's picking up speed once again.
The track is cooling down. The speeds are getting faster. The drivers that adapt to the changing weather are going to be the drivers that are going to find themselves in the top positions. And right now, our top 5, they're
All right, watch the blend line coming out.
Larry Yingling, who we thought at one point might be the driver to beat, but maybe with this changing track, starting to maybe give him a curveball. And even Cedric Hunter, he's up to 6th position now. We were just talking about him back there in 8th a little bit a while ago. Now he's up to 6th.
And then we hop on board with 75, Gavin Rogers.
You got clear track, Ryan. Come on up. There you go. Good job.
Forward in front of him as he's closing in. And this is that, driving abilities. Some drivers have the talent to race a car that's in this bad a shape. And you're seeing Gavin Rogers, he's turning right more than he's turning left through a corner. This is incredible handling that these drivers are dealing with. And it's not just the 75. This is everyone on track that's dealing with this handling of this vehicle.
Yeah, he's really showing you how he's able to get the car to turn and then turn back to the right.
Heck yeah.
The car seemed to always be so tight, but he's got to figure it out when he's able to get a little bit of...
How many people in front of me?
You can hear the tires squealing, but he's probably thinking right now, I'm going to run these tires for
28.
70 and then have nothing.
No, I mean, that just pitted.
You're losing on the
But a lot of them have not gone down pit yet. Oh, that just pit? There's
utilizing that shifting.
1, 2,
To try to keep pace
2,
as much
3.
as they can. Or further on back are making their early pit stops. Currently,
That's nice.
1 lap down.
If it goes green.
Just 1 lap down. They're going to be trying to maybe unlap themselves or wait for leaders to make their pit stop. But there's Zach Hall counter steering as well, driving to that right side on the exit of the corner. They're throttling up. Now we'll give a chance to see what third place runner up in Sora's hands look like through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I got her balanced.
Picture of what everyone's hands.
Hopefully I don't lose it.
For Vincent Sora, I was about to say that thing looked like it was on rails, snug, and he's doing a great job at this moment.
Definitely looks smooth. See, right there, he gets a little boost coming out of the corner. Counter steer, but there, he's going to have a big run, looks like, right here.
Trouble. It was Larry Yingling gets into the wall, now going to be given a chance to see in the mirror. Was thinking about popping out. Drew Jua not able to really make it.
Got to go green, though.
Yeah, he'll stay.
Or at least to their pit.
I want to give a shout out to Eric Anderson out in chat.
I think they had about 20 laps left.
Doghouse Racing League. Always great. We're going to be coming back with the Doghouse Racing League later on in next month as they're getting prepared for their winter season. So their top 4 about to be top 5, all within a second of one another. And Justin, even with...
So we got to make it to about 80-something.
That was enough to give an opening for Drew Jua. Jua decides to stay in line, and maybe it's a decision to continue to stay in line, save a little bit more of extra fuel so you can stay out just in case the caution flag lines.
You've got 35 plus laps left in the tank.
Worried about that.
And only
that track position.
31 laps to go. So, yeah, you're right on it.
As we say that, though, he's going to peek down to the inside. He's going to make the move here. He's got the position. He's going to drive it down into turn 1. Larry England going to try and fight back on the outside. Is he going to be able to do it? The 13 or 77, and we know he's got that wrong number, but he's got the speed down. That's all that matters right now. He's going to clear him coming out of the corner. And now Larry England's not going to have that clean air. He's going to have to instantly adjust how the car's going to drive different.
And that was a beautiful pass from Drew Jua, but Larry England gets the better run off the exit. He'll fight right on back, giving a chance now for Vincent Sora. Who does he want to align with? That's Drew Jua on the outside. It's side by side, and you got to give kudos to these drivers. They're running on 25 lap old tires. There is no grip left on these machines. With how hot the track's been, how long this green flag run's been, I am shocked on how well they're able to continue to stay side by side. But Yingling's in trouble. He's been dominating this run. More drivers are hitting pit road further on back, and now it's the two drivers that have been most scared of if they get.
Give me some of that draft.
It's Vincent Sora gets it to Drew Jua, and Zach Paul has to back up for a quick second. Everyone squeezes in this accordion effect.
It might help you with a little bit of a pull, but in the corners it could also hurt you with that dirty air.
Just one little mistake up front almost caused all of them to run into one another.
And the interesting thing is going to be there's a lap car on fresh tires who's got grip, who's going to be right here trying to get around these guys. You can see him out there. Right, looks like he's right there with Larry England right now. And that's going to be interesting.
The car in front
lap car working through these guys. We're racing side by side on full tires, Sam.
Yeah, and how many big moves are you willing to take if you're a lap car? Side by side for the lead. Vincent Sora, Drew Jua, they'll stay side by side. Too wide for now. A little bit of a puff of smoke further on ahead. I believe it was from drivers sliding into their box, but it's going to be continued to be side by side. Zach Hall gives.
He's got 4 lap better tires than me.
Number 1 trying to give a bump, but you see the 38. That's
Yingling, Stafford, and Rodriguez are on pit road.
Fresh.
I had a pretty slow pit entry.
He's got a 20 lap advantage, 1 lap down. He has to get his lap back before a yellow flag comes out. But will Norris just help Zach Hall, his teammate, or will he try to?
Well, the 11 that was in front of you on track, you passed him.
Hall dives down low.
So
The back stretch. Hall
if you feel you had a slow entry, he was slower.
For Norris trying to continue to follow Zach Hall and kind of be the drafting buddy on the straightaways.
While all that has happened, the 67 Larry chose to go in and get those fresh tires. As Zach Hall gets a big run coming out of the corner. 77 got a little loose coming out. They're just going to put him side by side, and like you said, the Norris machine going to go with.
There's my guy, Yingling.
Boost down to straightaway.
I passed the leader.
Yeah,
Side
Yeah, bro.
Save from Drew Jua. Norris into the outside wall.
Clear low.
But Drew Jua had to save that machine completely. It was almost completely 45.
Maybe I can just draft him. He'll be coming around me on tires here.
Lap car. It doesn't just help with bump drafting, but accidentally give a tap. It looked like to Drew Jua in that 13.
Wow, as you see right here, we're going to see this replay. I'm saying that this Drew Jua's got to be really frustrated right there with that. I don't know exactly what happened, but
here's the replay. And we're going to see side by side. Christopher Norris trying to stay in line with his teammate. Just too much speed. Clips into Drew Jua in the 13 and just maybe missed his braking marker. I don't know what happened, but I got to give kudos on the fact that Drew Jua was able to
E14, you got 3 or 4 more coming up.
corrected and sent it in the outside wall. But more drivers having issues on pit road. It's the 4 machine, Justin Forbes, having issues on his entry, and Drew Jua overshoots his pit stall. He has to back up. That's another mistake that these drivers could be making on pit road. If you overshoot your pit stall, that is a loss of a lot of time that is critical. You cannot lose at this moment.
A lot of time. I mean, easily it's second half there, but out on track, that's a lot of time, position potentially. But right now, Zach Paul, he's having no problem out there. He's going to continue to run this race. It seems like the car's working great for him. He doesn't want to go into pits yet. He's
the 11
tires compared to everyone else.
I'll tell you what, 67, he's back. Even though he's on those newer tires, he is backing up that corner huge.
Nate's from Snow doesn't racing, going to go into pit road. See, locking up those tires, trying to slow down.
Looking left.
Yeah, one inside.
And when they exit, you got to slow down to 55 miles per hour for pit road speed, and you're able to do so. Giving the lead to Edward Sherwood Jr. to be able to lead that lap for himself, but we'll stay on board Zach Paul. And he was battling for that lead position. Will he make the same mistake? We saw Drew Jua slide through his box. Has to do a little
Give my teammate the position.
Has to back up in the 13. Paul did not, so the advantage.
I get it.
Should be going to Hall here, but it's looking like it's going to be close between these drivers on which moves you're going to want to make here.
And it'll be interesting when we come out. How does all cycle screw Larry Ingles one of the
He's a little loose. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Yeah, one
Will
in
these
back.
drivers
Clear low, clear low.
1 or 2 lap newer tires, will they be able to run these guys down?
He saved it. Good job.
Up. We're going to have 5 or 6 of them under a blanket again for the final 2 laps if this stays green. I would think Zach Paul is going to have those fresh tires.
I'm following him down. I didn't want to go on the outside. I thought he was going to whip it to the wall.
Will they be able to catch the guys that pitted early?
As now get to the lead. Cody Reed leads that lap. He'll be getting the bonus point. Also, Shane Terrian staying out. We got a couple of drivers still out on track. That's Cody Reed, Shane Terrian, Tyler Dangler still yet to make their.
All right, Brian Shears on pit road, so you're going to move up to 7th.
Well, and Larry Yingling are currently your lead drivers, and Nick Crawford has mounted up a pretty good lead. He's got over 6 seconds over Larry Yingling, who's going to have to run down that 74 machine before the end of this race. And for Nick Crawford, strategy calls have been ways that he's found himself having good finishes at the end of the day. And in other leagues that we've covered, we'll see if it works out for the 74 so far, as the drivers that have made pit stops, straight jumps into pit road.
Them guys going to blow my doors off.
Front runners closing in on 25 laps to go. I mean, just this race
is it possible they took 2 tires there?
Racing action at the other stage.
Oh,
Strategy calls.
let me take a look at some lap times.
These drivers have made their bed. They made their pit stops. And if you stayed out,
yes, Doug Tangler was a 5.5 second stop.
Jua.
So Nick Crawford was 8, and Brian Noel was 6.
Just 3 times.
That's why I was so far back off of them. All right, give me 2 this time.
Earlier, and then the one before was almost involved in the accident, and unfortunately right now he is involved in the accident. I mean, his race went from looking to get a race-winning car to unfortunately just multiple incidents. We'll see what happens right here.
I don't know what happened.
No fuel is needed anyway. Should be good there.
Blinking out.
Do we want it?
You want fuel?
Lost. I don't know what the.
Yeah,
I don't think you need it.
Yeah,
I mean, I can give you a little bit in case there's a green-white checker.
I don't need it, no, but this is what I'm used to driving. I'm not sure what it's going to do if I don't take it.
Steering input.
Is that going to tighten me up?
Okay.
Just like faded up. I know that we have lucky.
Yeah, give me fuel.
In chat. I wonder if you.
Just because of the uncertainty.
So what do you think, 7.3?
I know, so Drew's also out.
Yeah, just fill it up.
We are confused on what just happened to the 77.
Okay, fill it up.
Yellow, because it looks like it just died on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, it's maybe like a black screen potentially happened on the monitor, and just
All right, sir, you're all set.
How everything just kind of.
And it is confirmed in chat. Drew Jua.
All right, Derek.
Froze.
Have a good one.
Had to lock it down. Luckily, no one else was involved, but that is such an unfortunate situation that happens to 77. And a lot of different drivers also having issues as well. Christopher Wade and Shane Terrian both being dropped out of the section at the same time. So multiple drivers having issues in that way.
He got
that is the iRacing equivalent of a blown tire or maybe a loose lug nut tire coming off. That's what we could chalk that up to. One of those random events. Not ideal for Drew Jua, but what a race for him. But just have to give him the shout out. I mean, he was involved in that early incident, then comes back to battle to consistently race in the top 5, even battle for the lead multiple times. He's having himself
staying out.
Race. Unfortunately, going to all come to an end tonight.
Yeah, it is 3 drivers.
Didn't even think about that.
Immediately, at the time of the Drew Jua locking up and freezing, it was 3 drivers. It was Drew Jua himself.
Yeah, because they didn't.
Well, they're going to have older tires later on.
With a packet loss. Like their iRacing just froze up on them. And I know in the last couple of weeks, it was either last week or the week.
You had a few more in the back. All right, come. They did the same thing as you, 2 tires.
Crash, and multiple drivers would be kicked out before. We've seen this in the past. Curious, and maybe that just happened here, but it was instead of a large pool, it was just a handful of drivers that were knocked down. I know there's also been.
You're looking at P20.
We'll wait and see on official confirmation, but we do know for Drew
for now. The people that are in front of you,
fortunate for himself.
They were in on lap 70 or 71,
especially driver
69.
Third victory.
72. Leader was in on 63, so you're gonna make those rights work for you.
But I tell you, that's part of racing. Why racing goes down. And we kind of...
Yeah, but just looking at the cars in front of me, there's only a 4-lap difference.
But Nick Crawford right now, the leader.
And actually, since the caution came out, it's a 2-lap difference. So
guys who pitted,
I don't think we're looking too good here.
I mean,
I should have stayed out.
4 or 5 laps on their tires.
Just took what I got.
I mean, yeah, track
We'll see.
But you don't want to give it all
All
up.
right, I'm worried.
Tires, Sam?
I mean, it's a tough call.
I mean, do I think you're going to get back up to 7th or 8th? No.
Nick Crawford, 14-lap old.
But anything can happen. They're going to start pushing now.
Majority of the field
I'm just picking.
is opting to.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna
I'm
be
not
pushing.
surprised by that again.
Might just have to avoid the wreck.
Whatever, man.
During the middle of stage 1, we had a caution on lap 6. Is the fact that they only had 6 laps of green flag tires put down, and they were running pretty similar lap times to their fastest laps, and they were able to keep speed. So only a few able to come into pit road and get service done. That is from 20th all the way down to 25th getting service done. Being Brad McCann, Cody Reed, Tyler Dangler, Carl Pooler, Jared Hughes, and Richard Wolsifer. They get tires and fuel for themselves. The oldest set of tires of those that are on the lead lap is Nick Crawford leading this race. Everyone else is off by about 2 to 3 tires, laps on their tires. As Shane Terry and Drew Jua trying to reconnect into the server and try to at least salvage some type of a finish here.
It kicks multiple people when a guy hits a cone
into this race. Shane Terry 2 laps down at this current time, and I believe also by the rule books, they will not get their laps back.
Never heard of that.
Have to see if there's caution flags that will enable them to get their laps back that way with the Lucky Dog rewards. But for now, they're going to have to just cross their fingers, hope for some luck. As Nick Crawford, Larry Yingley get ready for this restart. Justin, this caution, we knew it was possible to really change things here. And in a blink of an eye, it's reset. Who's up front inside of our top 10? Because a lot of our quote-unquote favorites are now outside of the top 5.
The leader was last on pit road on lap 63, and he had an 8.25 pit time, so that tells me just rights also. So this may stack them up a little bit.
6-lap tires, so they at least got heat in them.
I can say
But it will be interesting.
Well, I was only going to go backwards if I stayed out. And now, hopefully, I can only go forward. Fingers crossed.
On high alert, obviously right behind him. I don't.
The glass is half full.
There you go, half-ish full.
They'll be able to get going on the straightaway versus something like Dover last week where you're almost coming out of a corner.
You've been drinking out of that glass all night long.
Still, got to be mindful of the old tires in front of you.
Yeah, it ain't full.
Got to be mindful completely
almost
around.
empty.
Looking back from Nick Crawford, you can see Vincent Sora, Gavin Rogers, Larry Yingley.
Hey, none of that.
Be fast. Zach Hull is 3 cars back.
Not my glass, not my driving.
But for everyone else, they are getting prepared.
I know.
Take the green. Get ready.
Hi, buddy. Pace car's off.
21.
Coming to the restart zone. Ready.
Looks like Drew Jua again with
go.
damage. His race is over. Unfortunate for the 77 that was looking strong here tonight, but pace car pulls off into pit road. It's time for
29 inside, left rear.
We got a sense of what 20 laps can be like for our stage at the start.
2 tires is weird.
24 got to cut him off.
At the end, Nick Crawford gone.
A little squirrely at first.
It can be side by side for
5 low.
Down into turn number 1.
You're okay.
Down.
2 tires are always a little squirrely. We're gonna have a little bit of a pull here.
Cameron's got that lead. The guys behind him, they're side by side.
You are clear low, sir.
20 laps to go, really good to hold these drivers off. Larry Yingling, Vincent Sora still trying to battle out to see who's going to be the first car to be able to have a chance at Nick Crawford as they go down this long back straightaway.
And Crawford now is sitting duck, heading down to turn number 3 as Larry Yingling trying to slot his way to the inside of the red. 67, able to find an opening and will dive it down low. Crawford, just not enough speed. It's kind of holding back out Rodner. Rodner really has nowhere to go. He's boxed in on the outside. It's Sora, Johnson, and Hall looking to try to conveyor belt the 75 backwards as well as the 74 and the 71. As they continue to race forward, it's Yingling taking the lead. For Larry Yingling, he's only got a lot older tires than the likes of Vincent Sora. And you look at everyone else that's in our front pack, it's actually Zach Hall, who's got some...
It's going to be a little bit of a checkup.
Edward
Stay on it.
Jr. Those are going to be the 2 to watch out for is Ken Campbell. And it looks like John Force getting close with one another. As no, Nick Crawford almost into the outside wall. They have to scatter for now. 3, 4 wide, trying to push forward. They will almost be 4 wide down in turn number 3. This shouldn't work. They're going to test it though. 3 wide, a stack 4 wide. They squeeze it down to 2. And they somehow hold on together. Kelly on the outside. Rogers still pinched in the middle.
First through about 2/10 or so, all single file.
We see Green with 20. About to be 19 laps to go.
These 39 drivers are showing the WSSR league is
29 inside, hold your line.
Off into the corner, making almost slight contact.
You have to check up. 24 is going to give you a little bit of a pull here.
Plenty of room, excuse me. That was absolutely really fun racing to watch right there.
Keep it off the wall. 14 inside. 14 and 29 inside, splitting it.
Huge shout out to those drivers.
Oh, and Crawford's handling's gone. You saw that 74.
Just a 14 inside now.
Momentum on the outside. Everyone dropping low, trying to...
You are clear the 14. Clear low. Good job.
Nick Crawford forward with Bronson Stafford. Stafford trying to get a top 15 finish. It's been a rough couple of weeks for himself.
Take it low.
51. This could be a positive that you can roll off of moving forward.
Back double wide. 14's coming up with you. 24 is trying to block the 14.
The season is over. And
Just a 74 now outside.
this is crunch time.
You are clear up.
Larry Ingley and a few others.
74 back outside.
Crucial as Crawford continues to hold back. So many drivers to get
74 clear right rear. Come on up.
Watch out.
P15, Brian.
Call fastest lap. He's a second away from our leader of Yingling, and he's got the freshest of tires.
Got to go. Got places to be.
He's right there. Brian Beach.
15.
Get him, sir. 18 to go.
He slid through the box and lost some track time. Up to 3rd position with that Zach Paul machine. Like you said,
We're going for it, though.
the tire advantage. We know he has an extremely fast car in the long run.
Oh, hell yeah. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Is he going to be able to get it done and get up there? First, he's got to get around this machine of Brian P. Johnson in front of him and then run down those 2 in front.
I'm the guy with the best tires so far, looks like,
Yeah, the weather.
with this pack.
The weather been changing throughout tonight as it is down to 116 degrees Fahrenheit is the track temp. Air test stayed the same. But at one moment here this evening, the track temp was up to 100.
Yeah, hell, the track temp's come down 11 degrees since the race started.
Very warm. These drivers are feeling that sensation still losing away. But this Hornets Nest got still got to be careful. A lot of drivers have been involved with wrecks. A lot here tonight, mixed and mingled in this group. You've had the limitless drivers of Carl Fuller, also Richard Wolsifer, that 56 of Wolsifer, still looking out of control at moments. Also Nick Crawford on the outside, continuing to feed back. And Dakota Moniz, unfortunately for the 5, he hasn't been able to find an opening to drop down low. Shintarian, the part of the group that all froze up between the 9 to 77 and the 53. Shintarian's the only one that's been able to return to.
There you go, follow 61 if you can.
Badly. He needs the cluster that's in front of, that's behind him, bring out a couple of wrecks, but they are not doing so just yet. They continue to stay green for now.
And right here, we're on board Cedric Hunter. Kind of want to join those drivers we were talking. He's going to try and make it 3 wide coming out of this corner. Is he going to get 1? No, I thought he was going to get 2 there, but he got 1 car at least. He was able to get around Gavin Rogers. Now he's going to try and pull out there, but he slides.
There you go.
Right up in front of the 75.
Whoa,
Yes.
Kelly gets a little bit tapped and squeezed, trying to put that
26 outside.
on the 71 of Edward Sherwood
Still
Jr.
at the door.
Almost made out the 3.
Clear up, sir. Good job.
You can see a little bit of that front end damage. He's
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I wouldn't be happy either. This late in our
Yeah, but now Tom's mad at me.
it's hard to play nice with those big slashing moves of a driver.
I got to stay behind this guy so we can catch that pack in front of us. As long as he's fast,
These drivers know
which I think he is.
They got to make every position matter. Every run they got to take. See right here, Ryan Kelly going to.
He's fast enough where it'd be real hard for me to pass him.
Let's see.
Now fading just slightly. He was one of those drivers running in the top.
I just need to stay behind him.
Now
Yeah, he's fast.
that back half of the top 10. Ryan Kelly is still going to try and make the move, not able to do it. But all this action going on.
And that has actually been faster. You've been faster than him one of the last several laps also.
Quick, right there to 15. You see him, Ken Campbell, just having a great, quiet, clean night.
He's actually slower than you.
We always
He's got good exit, though. I can work with that.
quiet driver.
If I can draft him here, we'll catch that pack in front of us.
Continuously have top 10 speed.
I just need to hit him here.
Right now, running in 5th position, though, Sam.
The bubble him.
Night. Might lose 5th, they'll fall back to 6th, but still, it's just having a great, solid night.
Hey, I mean, we've talked about it all throughout this season of the commentator's curse. We say, hey, the driver's running well.
I push him too much.
Luck. Ken Campbell has been one of the heavy hitters. There's been a few other drivers as well that if we talk about them, bad luck strikes, and Campbell's one of those that I try to avoid now with how bad
he gained,
for majority of the middle of the race.
Y'all gained half a second that last lap.
Semblance of a decent finish, or at least finish a race at times here recently. And at this moment, trying to hold steady. But we have to bounce up to the lead pack. This is great racing action for Fifth. Before the lead, Yingling's been passed. Now it's going to be Vincent Sora taking the top spot, and his teammate Brian P. Johnson following in suit. Yingling doesn't want to give up. They'll stay to fight side by side. This group of four, technically under 3 different racing teams with the WSSR. You leave WSSR, their teammates under Cat 5 Esports. And so they know each other's tendencies. They know how to be aggressive around one another. And you saw there, willing to bump and run and get each other out of the way. And it's also willing to give a little bit more extra space to one another. Extra moves. And now the 51 of Vincent Sora is up into the lead position. And the one driver I would be concerned about, Zach Hall, is now up to third.
Up to third, ran a really great speed. The 67 coming out of that previous corner, but he had the lead, and then the contact, you saw how shaky the car got coming out of turn 4, did a great job saving it. Brian P. Johnson did a wonderful job as well. Right now, Johnson, though, trying to set his sights on the 51 of Vincent Sora, but Zach Hall, they got to deal with it. I mean, we know Larry, he pit it a lap before, more majority of these guys, 2-3 laps before Zach Hall. And you see the difference. Maybe it's starting to show now, 13 laps to go, just having that little bit of extra speed, able to carry it into the corner. Right now, I would think Zach Hall's got to be in those drivers' minds. They know he's got a little bit fresher grip.
Talking about some drivers having a quiet night, like Ken Campbell trying to go for a top 5 finish. One driver's going for a top 10 finish. Is going to be back in 11th place. Joshua Kanata, who's trying to have a good run. He's trying to set up to get by John Forbes Jr. in the 11 machine, which we've seen John Forbes. He was a pinball, just like Cedric Hunter a couple of times here tonight. 16 of Josh Kanata, kind of talked to him before this race. He's talked to the fact of how his season's been going. He said, hey, I've been quiet. I've been keeping my nose out of trouble, and that's been the key, and that might be the key of getting me into the playoffs. Don't know if that's will translate to a championship, but here tonight, continuing to keep that nose out of trouble, and 15 finishes can get you into that spot to fight for a chance for a championship and into the playoffs. But up front, a little bit of trouble happening for Brian P. Johnson, gives him an opening for Zach Hall. Hall going to be able to slot himself into second. Yingling trying to follow his way through. And the 6
down to his second.
They made contact the last time that they were trying to get around one another. They stay steady for now as Hall's now up to second. And now it's Hall's turn. Can he run down Vincent Sora, the 51? There's been a long history throughout the last, I think back to season 4, 5, the amount of time Zach Hall would be leading a race and Vincent Sora would run him down and make the pass late. Well, Hall's got 11, about to be 10 laps to go.
I may have been too close to him.
Here in Indy, what a special one it could be.
That's probably what happens when you're too close to somebody.
To run down the kid that you've talked to, that's kind of turned into the superstar of the league. Can you run down 7/10, 10 laps?
All right, well, you were faster anyway, so let's see.
Watch him, it was 0.822. He's got
10 to go.
0.733, so he
P13.
some time there. And as he gets closer, he's going to get that draft. He's going to get that toe. He's going to get that big run. He'll have to make sure he adjusts when he gets that big run. When we get going a couple miles an hour faster into the corner. So definitely got to be mindful of that. But right here, we're on board. Watching what he's doing. He's got it down to 0.633. He's going to get there, I think, Sam. The question is going to be, how do you pass? Very hard to pass. He's going to have to pull out at the right time, and I expect him to run side by side and battle hard for this win.
And if we look back to
The straightaways with them nose to tail is hurting you, but you kill them in the corners.
You know, you tried to hold back Kevin Rogers so many times, but it was Rogers on the outside that actually led the lap at the end. You don't need to fully make the pass. You just have to make sure your nose crosses the line for the driver ahead of you to win this race. And Zach Hall knows that's all he has to do. Is just
You gained 2.5 tenths in the last lap,
now with 9,
if not more.
And Vincent Sora, he's blinking.
Actually, about 3.7.
Where the 51 is at, and we've already seen drivers freeze here this evening. I think that's more of a Vincent Sora mechanical issue, but the 51 is blinking so much, it's hard to tell where he's going to be at, or if he's even going to be able to stay stable to keep this lead position.
And that's a bit frustrating. before Zach Hall just following at and seeing the blinks. But more importantly, you want to use that draft, and if he blinks for a second, you don't know, is he getting ready to go down to the inside? You want to stay in.
There you go. You should have their draft now.
And on straightaways, you see right here, he's coming out for this long straightaway. So will Vincent Sora pull down? He's going to stay up to the wall, and then now he does pull down a little bit. Zach Hall, he's going all the time, so he has a chance.
You've been fastest 5 of the last 5 laps, Brian.
It's under a half a second. 8 laps to go. How many more laps before he gets to that bumper? Will he be able to get to it? Will he be able to make a move? You see right here, he's got a nice run.
And with the laps continuing to tick away, 8 laps to go, we've got 26 drivers on the lead lap. It's kind of built out 5 different pods of groups of drivers out on course. We have our lead pack of drivers, which is our top 9. Then we have our 10, our second pack, which is 10th, back to 17th, and then there's a couple of little smaller packs in between of drivers trying to make little moments and movements if they can. Here's GT Irizarry, who we saw earlier slam into the outside wall. He was caught up in one of our earlier wrecks of the evening, and he might be getting a top 15 run with the way that he's driving here tonight, trying to catch up to the likes of Ollie Fonseca and Bronson Stafford. Here's our 4th pack out on course, being led by the likes of Anthony Gaudio, Carl Pooler,
outside,
Jerry Hughes. They're all trying their best. This is the fight for inside of the top 20 as Carl Pooler tries to dive down.
Still there, even though he's got a little bit of draft. That might tell me that he might have a little bit of damage.
Been watching.
He's on your right front.
Zach Hall might have stalled out. We remember Hall earlier in this run.
You are clear up, sir. Good job.
Put down the fastest lap of the day. The 32, Justin, I'm curious on your thoughts on it. Maybe he pushed a little bit too hard, too aggressively to be set up for this position to where he no longer has the tires.
12
for a marching pass.
6 to go, coming to 5.
And when I heard that he did set down the fastest lap, it was one of the first things I thought of, because I noted 32 just from watching so much in this league. He seems to be a driver that saves in the beginning and comes on strong. And I was like, he pushed hard. I wonder if he's just got that mindset, I got to get that track position. Did he push too hard? And you see right there, he just didn't get through that corner and stay on the bottom. So you know he's definitely used a car. I think he restarted 7th. He obviously is up to 2nd now, so you know he was passing people. Did he just use it like slightly too much? I mean, he's getting draft right now, but it just seems like he stalled out, like he got close enough that now he's going through the corner dealing with that dirty air and just not able to make the move on this. Or it's 6 laps to go. I mean, can't stall out anymore. If he's going to save the tire and cool it off, he's got to do it quickly and then give himself a chance to recoup.
I know also you were able to have a chance to run some other leagues running to the next gen car. How much of the dirty air this late will run? Both drivers are on 20+ old tires. They're catching up to lap traffic. How much do you think that this may be influencing? Is Zach Paul, if he gets too close, is he maybe tightening up, and that's why he's missing the apex? Is that maybe what's going on here with that 32?
Yeah, I think that exactly is what happens. It seemed as the tires got older and hotter, and if you drove a little harder on them, when you entered a corner behind the car in front of you, you just didn't have the air on the front of the car, and it seemed like you had to turn a little bit more, and then eventually the car just doesn't want to turn anymore. You get some of that back on the straightaway with the draft, but eventually it just seemed like it equalized to the point where the corners were hurting you more than the draft on the straightaway was helping you, and especially if it's sort of pulling down and trying to break that draft, it doesn't give Zach Haldy a chance to use all of it.
But lap traffic might be helping.
Canada was last on pit road, lap 71, so he's got 6 lap older tires.
It's now allowed Zach Hall to gain over almost a half a second.
And you were faster 4 of the last 5 laps.
To go. He's 2/10 back. This is the chance, and the diving moves. And it was Trent Jump just getting in the way of Vincent Sora, maybe miscalculating.
Right front, you're there. Show him, there you go.
All the built-up spacing that maybe was big enough to hold back Hall. It's
right rear, he's trying to drag you back a little bit. He's on your door. 17's right there with him. You're going to have the entry.
Hall.
Oh, it's zigzagging up the straightaway. You know what? There goes the
on your rear.
He's
hold your line.
Right now, though,
clear.
Looking up the spirit. No, he's got to protect that. So right now, Zach Hall's doing what he has to do. But Sam, maybe what it was maybe he pushed for that lap or two, and he got such a big toe that he was going in the corner so fast that maybe that kind of threw up his entry speed. Right now,
this car right here is nothing.
Move, Hall finally gets to the inside. He's to the quarter panel. A little bit of tap pushing up Vincent Sora. He'll be dead even at the line.
He's a lap down.
Zach Hall to the inside. Sora's trying to give a pinch.
He gave you the spot.
Time of opening. Hall's going to move up. They might door slam. Brian P. Johnson is waiting in the wings. He's hoping for a chance. Maybe
He almost got wrecked unintentionally.
And Zach Hall off the exit of the corner. Hall is fully cleared. Now,
2.4 up to John Forbes.
with 3.
I was trying to slow down, not to hit him. That's all I had.
What he can. 28. Thought he had a chance if those two decided it would begin a huge run, but Zach Hall's able to make the pass. I mean, what can Vincent Sora do?
If he's that slow, why didn't he go high?
Gets a great corner, tries to get back on that speed. Is he going to make a move here? Look at this, he's getting in the corner a little bit lower. He might have.
He had just come off pit road, might not have known what he had.
Hall's going to be moving up. He'll try to block down to that pit wall. Hall's trying to go low. Sora decides to stay high. Now there will be an advantage in the draft as it's 2 laps to go. Brian P. Johnson in 3rd place has been the faster driver for the past 5 laps. He's been chipping away. The 28 isn't out of this race either. He's got a chance. He could try to send it. We've seen a couple times here tonight. It might be a 3-wide pass to try to
You got a half second now between you and Josh Canada, so you're pulling away.
to go.
Keep it going, sir.
Side, snaking high, snaking low. Now trying to go up to the wall, holding back Vincent Sora, who has the draft. And this is it to the end. There is only going to be just a handful of chances now for Vincent Sora to take this win back. But for Zach Hall, cannot make a mistake. Slate with
White flag.
exit turn 3, off of 4. They're going to be in line. Your top 3 within 3/10 of one another. White flag in hand. This
You gained 2/10 on Forbes. Not going to be enough unless he makes a mistake.
Fuel teammates. Here we go, Justin, down in turn number 1 for your freaking fast white flag.
White flag. Zach Hall is going to try and do everything he can. He's got to get a good exit. This is going to be really important. This back straight. We got to hit this corner. Can't get loose coming out of this corner. No twitching for Zach Hall fans. But Vincent Sora, look at this. He gets down right down to that curb. He's going to carry all the speed he can. Zach Hall is going to try and block that air, but he's going to have a big run coming off down here in turn 3. Is he going to make a move?
Zach Hall, he's trying to still make the same move that he did last time. He's able to give at least a little bit of a buffer, but Sora has to go down a little bit deeper. Too deep. He had to back out. He's holding back Johnson. Johnson going to the mass for second. Zach Hall, just hit your marks. He had a penalty for ARCA braking last week.
All right, sir, coming across P11. Good rebound.
Position. He worked all night working for a chance for this moment.
Thank you. Almost a 10th.
Will win the Indianapolis 250 for race number 9.
What was I, 8th or something whenever I went into the pits? I really didn't lose that much.
Last to the first. I mean, this guy's 3 weeks in a row coming from the front.
Well, I mean, you have to drive your rear end up.
He's putting on a show every.
And those guys in front of me would have had better tires than me, so I probably would have ended up right where I am anyway.
He put on, and he just had speed all night. Just kept.
Maybe.
Lemon, we'll take it.
The main event at the Daytona Road Course, and now
It's actually one of our better ones.
Zach Hall, his crown jewel races, the races that he cared about the most. He finds himself with the win. Congratulations to the 32 of Hall, and this has got to be feeling so.
I know some stuff. I learned some stuff tonight, so that's positive.
That Hall had to run down and pass so many times in the past. Hall would be that other driver leading and losing the race late in those runs. I could think back to all the times in season 5, season 6, running against Vincent
Thank you,
Sora,
repeat.
but here tonight, Zach Hall is a winner, and guess what?
Nah, you are absolutely welcome, sir. Absolutely welcome.
Driver so far this
What lap was that? 40.
I will see you next Tuesday.
Ooh, this might be a driver.
All right, man. Take it easy.
While making a point, he's a driver that has a chance for a championship for here in season 9. Zach Hall, enjoy this one. When we come back, we'll talk to the 32 of Zach Hall, Vincent Sora, Brian P. Johnson, and a spotlight driver right after this.
You get an early caution, you got to start thinking, are you going to
Where was it at?
get some of that fuel, so maybe
Next
you
lap?
could do a shorter stop later. We're not thinking tires are going to be the most important thing. I would think all drivers will definitely change them under the caution, but then, I don't know. I don't know if people will be taking any, maybe just 2. I don't think people are going to want to sit there and take all 4, but I don't know. By the time you fill that fuel up, maybe they're going to get 2 or 4.
Oh yeah,
They
did tank slap.
But if you're starting in the back, you got to start running this race in reverse.
Oh,
trying to figure out
big tank slap.
You can get to that front.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of thinking points after the stage is over. First stage again, going to be our first 20 laps. Top 10 drivers get bonus points. A lot of drivers want to make sure they're up front for that run. Majority of the drivers will be starting on the outside, but up front, it's Larry Yingling in the 67, Douglas Newbegin in the 7. Your Meals on Wheels 250 is underway.
Came back up, but didn't take Ed out. Took Aaron out. Aaron never saw it, probably.
Into turn number 1.
And they're still just 2x2. We'll be seeing this a lot all night. You can see that going up through the gearboxes, some backfire coming through the 7 there, getting through the gears. But right
Aaron saw the slap.
Just trying to get through these first 20 laps. They're going to stay 2x2.
Oh.
Really out.
That's some huge damage you're dealing with, and big moves as well, as the first group of drivers are in line, and oh no, Danny Cochran.
I don't think there's anything Aaron could do.
Bad bump. We stay green. Second pack trying to drive.
What lap did I get hit on? Not there. Somewhere before this. Hey, Nathan. Or Mox. Why are you in a weird loop? Uh-oh, what do you got going on? Yeah, the 74 just came up and got him. I think the 77 was in his lane. Well, that's Nick Crawford come up and got him. And that's Drew. Yeah, I think that's Nick's fault. It's hard to tell, though. I'm going to assume you were talking about the other one than Mox. What would be a good camera here? Blimp, maybe? '74 bobbled. The 73 did, or 77 did not. So I guess I'm going to say 74 calls that one. Right there. 74 shot up the track. I just barely caught him. Yeah, I said Nathan. That's your name on Facebook. Like it's showing up as Nathan. Who got spun? He was trying to dodge me. Oh, Drew got... That was the original guy. Richard. Yeah, ain't much you can do there. All right, I'm going to call it there. Y'all have a good one. Thank you, Mox, for jumping in. Repeat for spotting, and everybody else for sticking around. Derek. I don't remember everybody, but y'all have a good one.